Day, carry out tonight, that's our version of carry out.
All right, I'll take one of everything.
Oh, that may take a little longer. We'll have it for you tomorrow night.
I'll be back tomorrow to pick it up.
We'll be waiting for you.
Hello and welcome to Game Day. My name is Keith Myers. I'm the Vice President of IndianaSRN. We're glad that you joined us today. If you'd like to see more content just like tonight, just hit the donate button. Every dollar that you donate will go right back into more games right here on IndianaSRN, which means more games for you. It's IndianaSRN, where you always have a front row seat.
Hey, Indiana. Let's clear the air about vaping. Glue, rat poison, paint. We all know these products contain poisons like formaldehyde, arsenic, and lead. And these are just a few of the chemicals you'll find in e-cigarette vapor. Let's clear the air, Indiana. Don't puff this stuff. Visit don'tpuffthisstuff.com to join the fight and spread the word.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
We welcome you back to Kokomo. It is day 3 of the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference Baseball Tournament. It is Elimination Day, and it is possibly Championship Day. Our first game, it'll be the number 2 seed, Ravens of Anderson, coming in at 26-15. They'll be taking on the 4th-seeded Pioneers of Transylvania. They are 21-18 on the season. Today's game's being brought to you in part by Hampton Inn and Suites, Reynolds Farm Equipment, the Morales Group, Boilermaker Local 374, Piper Logistics, the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference, and the IndianaSRN Sports Page. Troy Darengowski, Sean Kroll back. Beautiful day for baseball. It is also Mother's Day weekend. We want to wish all the mothers out there a happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, your mother, my mother, wives. It's been fantastic. And we'd like to take a second really to honor one special one, Joan Dellin. Ralph Waldo Emerson has a great quote, "Men are what their mothers made them." Joan Dellin, you made a great one, and our producer, Jerry Collins, and we want to dedicate this game in your honor on this Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah, we want to wish him the best as well.
Yes.
I know it's very tough when you lose your mother.
Yes.
And it's something it's hard to get over, so we wish him well.
Special love.
Well, I'll tell you what, we had a weird day yesterday for sure.
Man.
But we had some good baseball, and we went right down to the very wire last night. But now Transylvania and Anderson are hoping to get to that 4:30 championship game against Manchester.
And honestly, we saw a lot of it last night, Troy. It really comes down to the arms.
Yeah.
What kind of bullets do you have left in the chamber for today, especially if you're Transy, because you've had to throw more people and play more games than you have Anderson. So Anderson kind of has that slight little edge in the beginning, but when it comes to an elimination game, kitchen sink, baby. It's everything you've got, and it's going to be knock down, drag out till the last out.
What do you see in the two pitchers that are going to be going today?
Well, for Anderson, C.J. Williams is pitching a 4.87 ERA, 3-2 on the year. This is only his 5th start. He also has 4 saves. Walks to strikeouts are dead even. Batters against him, The average is relatively decent, but he's probably their number 3 guy,
right.
Which is important for them in terms of, Transy. Luke Patton, 4.46 ERA. He has thrown 42 innings. He is started. This is his 9th start on the season. He has 26 strikeouts and 24 walks. Opponents hit 270 against him. I think in both cases, it's early.
Yeah.
How do you start? We saw it yesterday. A lot of times walks hit batters caused issues early. Runs scored early makes a huge difference in how you manage the rest of your bullpen. And the strike zone is going to be important today, too.
All right, it is time for today's national anthem here at Kokomo Municipal Stadium. Well, one difference, Sean, today as opposed to what we have seen over the last couple of days, it is much warmer. And we were down on the turf earlier, and you can kind of feel that heat coming up off the turf. And one thing about it is you're going to lose some energy in this game.
100%. And I'll be honest with you, I'm stunned that Anderson is wearing their all-black uniforms because that just draws in the heat. And if your goal is to play more than one game, and if you get past today, to win it, you have to beat Manchester twice. That's 3. Ooh, that's that is a tough task.
Well, here's what happened yesterday. If you joined us, we had the 2 elimination games early. Transy beat Franklin 10-3. Rose-Hulman against Mount St. Joe. Mount St. Joe wins that one 9-5. And then we had the winners game, and that was Manchester-Anderson. I don't know that you and I expected that to be a 16-11 ball game, but that's how it turned out.
Yeah, it was kind of a tale of 2 games early. Pitching, everything was kind of in check, but then once the dam broke, runs just came across like crazy.
Yeah.
And, they were mashing, and it was interesting. I'm really interested to see how the bats come out for Anderson today after all the runs they put up yesterday, even in the loss.
We had 1 home run up until we didn't think a ball was going to get out of this ballpark.
And then they started flying out like crazy. I am interested, no win today, how the heat's going to affect how the ball carries. Well, I'm sure we'll probably see early how well that has an effect on it, but I'm super interested to see how the strike zone plays out early in this game and how it's managed.
Then we went late last night where Transylvania, and they were here quite a bit after the game, but they had to hold on to beat Mount St. Joseph 7-5 to get here, but that was a big win too.
That was a knockdown, drag-out fight that was close, and then it was punch, counter-punch till the very end, and it came down to the last pitch.
All right, here we go. It'll be Charlie Jones. I want to remind you that today's broadcast is a copyright production of IndianaSRN and the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference, and the use of audio or video without the express written permission of both of those entities is strictly prohibited. And we are underway. The winner advances, the loser goes home. Charlie Jones, 346, no home runs and 32 runs driven in, leading it off here for the Ravens. Here's the 0-2 pitch on the way and hit foul.
Charlie Jones is a senior from Portage, Indiana, the great program of Andrean up in the region.
Very good baseball program. They're having a great year this year as well. Ground ball to the first baseman. Taylor scoops it. gets the out one away. Here is Trey Dorton, 308, a home run and 29 runs driven in. I would imagine even the way the ball was carrying last night, I don't know if that was an anomaly or what it was, but you want to keep that ball low in the strike zone and get a lot of ground ball outs today.
Oh, yeah, especially, we've seen some great defense in this tournament so far, and that's going to be a huge part. It's those small things that teams can take advantage of. Mental mistakes, errors, wild pitches, those different kind of things that may make the difference in who moves on.
By the way, you can follow along live stats, either the Anderson or the Transylvania websites. Just go to the schedule, and they will have right on that game schedule the live stats throughout the entire day. Here's a ball hit into center field. Dillon back on it, makes the catch. 2 quick outs here in the top of the first inning.
Kind of tough to see how the ball's carrying from that one because it was kind of, a normal fly ball, but decent charge into it.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it really did carry too much. Again, as you said a little bit ago, we have virtually no wind today, so that's not going to be a factor. Here is Griffin Wolf at 370, 7 home runs and 45 runs driven in. Good power from the left side. And the pitch by Patton in there for a strike.
He's been in the zone so far, and if you can get a 1-2-3 inning here to start with, that's huge.
The 0-1 pitch popped him up left side. Shiratori is there. He'll squeeze it, and a 1-2-3 inning here in the top of the first inning. We head to the bottom of no score.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
HCAC athletes lead by example on the field, in the classroom, and in their communities. As we move to the bottom half of inning number 1, it'll be Dillon, Shiratori, and Tedesco. You have to kind of have a little bit of a feeling, I would imagine, if you are Transy, that they could have a lot of momentum going into this game here today. You look back early, they had a chance to beat Mount St. Joseph in the opening round. They dropped down. They took care of Franklin relatively easily, and then they held on to win last night. And you could tell they were very excited about that win because they really wanted to play today.
They did, and I think a lot of it, too, was who they beat. There is a little bit of juice when they play Mount St. Joseph, and that was again a knockdown, drag out game, and it was a fight to the last out. So they were charged up, and can they carry that momentum, having played so much yesterday, into today and recharge and be ready to go?
Well, the right-hander Williams getting his final warm-up tosses in. We're ready to go as Ethan Dillon steps to the plate. 319 on the year, 6 home runs and 40 runs driven in. He has stolen 21 bases this year. So let's see how C.J. Williams will do today. Again, it's going to be a warmer day. We're talking about temperatures in the 70s, but on that turf, it's going to be much warmer.
Much warmer.
First pitch by Williams on the way, and it's in there for a called strike. Outfield straightaway dimensions, again, 330 down the lines, 348 left center, 369 right center, 400 dead center, and here's a base hit to right field.
Good start for the Pioneers. Dillon, you got to love it when your leadoff guy has the most RBIs on the squad. A lot of people would say, why don't you hit him cleanup? You want that guy to get the most at-bats as possible, and the way to do that, hit him leadoff.
Exactly. That must mean somebody else at the bottom of the order is getting on base too,
yeah.
Right?
I mean, you look at squads in MLB now, with Shohei Ohtani and sometimes Mookie Betts, and those guys are batting at the top of the lineup because they want to get him as many plate appearances as possible.
Shiratori trying to lay down the bunt to get the runner down to second base, bunts it foul. We have seen this a lot in this tournament, and we have seen some really good bunting, and then other times that pitch a little high in the strike zone, and if you don't get that bat down on top of it and knock it down on the turf, that thing can be popped up pretty easily.
Yeah, it's a lost art. It really is.
Shiratori bunts it well this time. Williams will throw to first, gets the out there. So a good sacrifice bunt by Shiratori, and here is Baxter Tedesco. Tedesco 342, a home run and 27 runs driven in.
Already playing for a run. Want to get on the board quick.
Yes, they do, and that's exactly what they did last night in that win against Mount St. Joseph, though the Lions made a gallant effort late to try to send that thing into extra innings. Hit down the line and foul.
We saw, it seems like a lot of guys, especially the right-handed hitters, going the opposite way with balls. You know, it was very interesting. That right field corner got worn out last night.
Williams with the 0-1 pitch in the dirt. Is Tabor able to block it? Tabor behind the plate. Wolf is at first. Hogan at second. Jones at short. Seitzinger's at third with Barreca, Dorton, and Stosky in the outfield left to right.
Dillon 21 of 23 and stolen bases on the season, so he's a threat.
The stretch by Williams. And the pitch on the way. That's kind of a half swing that time by Tedesco.
That's one where you try and pump the brakes and
it's not braking, is it?
The brake pedal has been clipped and it does not stop.
So the count 1-2. One away here in the bottom of the first inning of this elimination game. The pitch on the way, grounded up the middle. It's going to be trouble. Jones able to knock it down. The throw to first is wide, and a run will score, and that'll be a throwing error on the shortstop Jones, and it's 1-0.
You know, we discussed this yesterday at certain plays. That's absolutely fantastic play by Jones to get to that baseball, but you got to know with the runner on second base, put that in your back pocket because if that happens, what happens? That run scores. You want to keep him on the diamond. That way the double play still in effect with no run scored.
All right. Mitchum, 302, 2 home runs, 34 runs driven in, takes the first pitch up high. And you've said that before. I mean, it's something that you, as a player, you got to know where you're going to go with the ball. If it's hitting to a certain situation, don't make a big mistake.
Yeah, especially, going up the middle and diving to get the ball. It's going to be a tough play regardless, and look what we're going to get right here.
Yeah, Seitzinger on to first and scooped nicely by Wolf. The double play ends the threat, but Transy gets the first one. They lead it 1-0.
Every day when I walk into a classroom, I feel blessed and privileged to teach something I love, film.
I hope so. I hope it ranks up there for you.
My name is Jack Luger. I teach cinema and media arts at Anderson University.
Set design and just the whole aesthetic. Something pushes your main character out into an area.
As a former writer in Hollywood, I realize how important storytelling is, and I work to nurture that skill set in our cinema majors. Production aspects are important, but I really want our students to learn how to recognize and tell good stories. I try to practice what I preach. I've told my students many times that if they want to direct movies, the best way forward is to go out and make a movie.
With a safety net.
I don't ask them to do anything that I'm not willing to do myself, so I wrote and directed a project of my own.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first screening, really.
The film, titled Hellcat, premiered at the Heartland International Film Festival.
Ricky?
Suze? What are you doing here?
I work here. What's your excuse?
Who was that?
A ghost.
All I got is
left me here to see the death every day.
What do you think Jameson's doing right now? What do you mean?
Back here in Kokomo, great to have you with us on this Saturday afternoon for this elimination game. We head to the second. Austin Taylor Chris Hettinger and Houston Manning all due up. Wrong side. Second inning, Stosky, Tabor, and Bereka. I forgot to flip my book over. That's right. That's an E on me. That'll be fouled away. It helps when you turn the book over.
That does help, yeah. Stosky is just an extra base machine. 12 doubles, 3 triples, 7 home runs on the season, 43 RBIs. I mean, if you're hitting in the 430s, that's pretty good.
That's not bad.
Okay.
Patton ready to throw, and the 0-1 pitch inside for a ball.
And I don't care what level you're at. 436 is good.
It's very good. 1-0 here in the second. And now the 1-1 pitch. That caught the inside corner for a strike. 1-2. And you know, the other thing about being a hitter, too, and you have different umpires every time, is then you have to adjust a little bit about how their strike zone could be game by game. 1-2 pitch, grounded up the middle. Off the hop, it'll be Shiratori. Throw to first, and he's safe. Stosky down the line. That'll be an infield base hit.
Coolest play. It wasn't hit very hard, so Shiratori had to get a quick throw over there. And Stosky, for a big man, is still pretty quick.
Here is Brendan Tabor, 384, 10 home runs and 49 runs driven in.
He's their leading RBI guy. Wolf, Stosky, and Tabor all in the upper 40s in runs batted in.
This is an Anderson team that is well over 300 as a team batting average. And that fastball right down the middle for a strike.
Tabor, oh, he comes from a good place. New Palestine. Let's go.
There you go. Go Dragons.
That's right. For those of you that don't know, I live in New Palestine. So
yes, you do.
I could see if my wife maybe had him as a teacher.
Pitch is outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Now, one thing about the Heartland is the kids that play, and this is all sports from all over the state of Indiana, they're on a lot of rosters for sure.
Yes.
This is lined into the gap. This is going to be trouble. Dillon on the chase. McElfresh also. Stosky rounding third. Here comes the relay. They're going to go to third. And a triple by Brendan Tabor. We are tied at 1 apiece.
I don't know if he caught this, but the third base coach put up the stop sign for him when he hit second base, but Tabor's like, oh no. I'm getting all the way to third.
Uno momento, por favor. I'm going to go on to third.
Yes.
All right, here is Daniel Bereka. Tabor with his 50th RBI of the season. Bereka, 315, a home run, and 14 runs driven in. The pitch by Patton is a fastball in there called strike. You can feel the energy's a little bit different today because you know what's on the line. Fans are really coming in force because nobody has to work today pretty much on a Saturday, so they're here.
Except us. We're
Except
here.
us.
We're here.
But it's a beautiful day. Everybody's enjoying the weather and great ballpark.
Where else would you rather be?
Here.
Yeah. Great sunny day at the ballpark. Let's go.
Runner at third. Here's the 0-2 pitch. It is low. Last night we ended up pretty late. I guess not as late. Maybe about the same time we did on the first night, but the fans last night, by the time we were done, it was a very vocal evening.
It was.
The 1-2 pitch on the way, low and outside.
You know, poor Bereka, he's hitting sixth, and you look at his stats and you go, why does he only have 14 RBIs? Well, it's because Tabor, Stosky, and Wolf hit in front of him. There's nobody left.
Break-even pitch on the way, popped him up. Should be a play here for Dreher.
Got it.
And Dreher reaching back and making the catch. There's one away. That'll bring up Seitzinger.
He got the glove up there really late, didn't you think?
Yeah.
You talked about the high sky yesterday. I imagine it's probably the same today.
Yeah. You know, as a catcher, you're taught when that goes up to get rid of that mask.
Yes.
I mean, you turn around and look first because you don't know where you're going to throw the mask. But I think you're right. I think he was a little bit late getting the glove up there. Seitzinger, 348 on the season. Pitch outside, 3 home runs and 29 runs driven in. Brendan Tabor down at third with that triple to tie the ball game.
These next 2 hitters are big for Transy.
There's a strike.
If they can keep it tied at 1, that's huge. And loading up on lefties in the lineup today, on deck's Ben Brown. He pinch hit yesterday. Smoked a 3-run homer. Was it 3-run, or I don't remember if it's 3-run or grand slam.
But it was a 3-run shot.
And so he's the DH today because he's a lefty.
Pitch low and inside.
By the way, I love the YouTube videos of catchers going for pop-ups and throwing the masks, and the umpire just like reaching out and snagging and catching the mask. Those are the best.
2 balls and a strike. Now to Seitzinger. The pitch on the way. That's going to be hit into left field. Henniger going back on it will make the catch, but it is deep enough to score the run, and Anderson now leads it 2-1. So 2 away, and here's Ben Brown. Brown hit his first home run in this tournament, 189 on the year, a home run, 9 runs driven in. So another left-handed bat here for the Ravens. He'll swing at that first pitch and foul it away.
I think it might have been on the first or second pitch, and he just went right over the 369 sign there in right field.
The 0-1. Good breaking ball. So now Brown quickly down, no balls and 2 strikes. Both these teams will pull out all the stops to try to get to that 4:30 championship game. The 0-2 pitch on the way, high and inside. Now the 1-2 pitch got him swinging. So after Patton gives up the base hit to Stosky and then the triple to Tabor, comes back, he gets Barreca along with Seitzinger, and Brown strikes out to end the threat here in the second. We will head to the bottom half of inning number 2. It's 2-1 Anderson.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Driven by passion and powered by purpose, HCAC athletes set the standard as we move now to the bottom half of inning number 2. It'll be Austin Taylor, Chris Hedinger, and Houston Manning.
By the way, for the record, my wife had Brendan Tabor in 2nd grade.
2nd grade, really?
2nd grade, yeah.
Time flies.
Yes, it does.
I mentioned this. We all go through it where we see somebody we knew when they were tiny. Now all of a sudden they're adults and doing their own thing.
And that's the weird part, too, because they'll be in their 30s and they still call me Mr. Crow. I'm like, no, you're an adult now. You can call me Sean. No, I can't do it.
No, I can't do that.
Stop.
That's right.
Thanks for making me feel old.
Taylor steps in for the first time, takes the pitch high and outside. Austin Taylor, 310 on the year, home run, and 21 runs driven in. 2-1 ball game. Williams set to throw, and that's lifted high in the air to right field. Stosky on the run. Can he get to it? He will not. That'll take a bounce deep into the corner. Heading to third. Are they going to call it a fair ball? Yes, I was watching the umpire down the line, so a triple by Taylor. I thought that ball was going to bounce over the fence, but it stayed in the ballpark.
I did too. It's kind of hard to see the depth of where it hit, but We thought it might bounce over, but I guess it just didn't hit far enough down the line. And Stosky had some trouble with it down there in the corner.
Yeah, there's where it bounced, but it stayed in the ballpark. So 2 triples already.
Kicked away from him and allowed Taylor to get to third.
Chris Hettinger, chance to tie the ball game. Pitch is in there for a called strike. I guess his strike zone is widened.
I guess it is widened. We were told he was squeezed. This home plate umpire, Rackle, I believe is his name, was squeezing the other night, and that was not squeezing.
Hettinger has 24 RBI. This could be deep enough to score the run. Way back on it will be Dortney, makes the catch. And just like that, we're tied at 2 apiece. Already 2 sacrifice flies. Here's Houston Manning, the DH.
Well, there you go. Anything you can do, I will match you.
Kidding. Manning at 329, no home runs and 19 runs driven in. The pitch on the way is in there for a strike.
You just get the sense now this is going to be a punch, counter-punch game. And we may have to go to the judges' cards after every round.
Pitch is low and outside.
I don't feel like there's going to be any knockouts.
I agree. Now the 1-1 pitch. 2-1. And I don't think there's going to be any hesitation. If they got to make a change, they're going to make it.
Yeah.
2-1 pitch. Lined into right field, base hit. Houston Manning going the opposite way, and that'll bring up now the catcher, Bryce Dreyer.
It's not going to surprise me either to seize any opportunity. For example, right now, it would not surprise me in the least to see Dreyer bunt and try and get Manning over. With no outs?
Yeah, I think it's a great strategy right here. Well, actually 1 out. The board is wrong. We had that sacrifice by Hettinger. Pitch in there for a strike.
It's on me for following the board, the scoreboard.
I know. I'm not going to look anymore.
Yeah.
But then I look down at my scorebook, it's turned over. So here is the 0-1 pitch. Lined into right field and coming on. Oh, he dropped it. Stosky. But he's going to get the out at second base because the runner, Manning, had to wait to see if it was going to be caught.
The common 9-6 put out.
Very common. Here's McElfresh. 188 on the year, no home runs and an RBI. The pitch. He squared a bunt, and he actually caught a piece of that one, so no balls and a strike.
Bunting with 2 outs. That's interesting.
Yeah. The 0-1 by Williams. Now 0-2.
McElfresh is in the .01% club. No doubles, no triples, no home runs, but 1 RBI.
That'll be chopped foul. By the way, if you're wondering, Stosky didn't get the error because he got the out at second base. Yeah.
Oh, see, I will have to erase that error then. I'm sure our guy Chuck is all over that one. He knows the rules.
Yes. The 0-2 pitch up high. It's kind of like the infielder lets it drop and then you get the guy at second base.
True. You wonder if he was still kind of rattled from the ball down in the corner that kind of kicked away from him.
Yeah. Ow, that one hits him.
There it is again.
That has been a common theme in this tournament. Now top of the order, Ethan Dillon singled and scored the run in the first inning. Well, we talked about it from the time we got here on Thursday. Little things are going to make a big difference, and it has been happening time and time again where you'll get 2 outs, and the next thing you know, you've given up 4 runs because of a mistake or a walk or you hit batter. We have a visit to the mound very early. Williams, by the way, so far, 25 pitches, 18 of those for strikes.
He's been pretty good so far.
Yeah.
No walks, which is the big thing.
On the other side, Patton, 28 pitches, 20 for strikes. 4 flyouts and 1 ground out. Williams right now, 1 flyout and 3 ground outs. So here is Dillon. Runners at first and second. 2 away here in the bottom of inning number 2. Williams, after the meeting, set to throw. The pitch, outside for a ball. This is the first action Williams has seen in this tournament. And what a crucial spot to be in. Big cut and a miss.
Yeah, the pressure you've got for both these guys. I think this is also Patton's first appearance in the tournament.
Let me check.
Yeah. Hey, here's the ball. By the way, we can't lose or we go home. No pressure there, right?
None at all. Breaking pitch high and outside. Yeah, I don't see them.
That's a nice scorebook. Wish I had one like that.
I know. You got one someplace. It's hidden away.
It's somewhere in the house.
When you go to retirement, everything is hidden.
I know.
High fly ball into shallow center. There is Dorton. Makes the catch, and that'll do it for Transylvania. Do they pick up a run? We're tied at 2 apiece.
Whenever I tell somebody that I go to Berea College, it's automatically, oh, so do you make brooms? And I have the pleasure to say, yeah, I actually do. Although being a broom maker is a little bit of a niche experience and niche community, it's sort of world famous, at least Berea brooms. When I first saw the broom wall, it was definitely intimidating. Coming in there as a woman, I was scared that I wasn't strong enough, but thankfully I am strong enough. And throughout learning a specific broom, especially within our catalog, it can be really defeating when you try to execute something and it's not quite right. But when you finally get it, it's really rewarding. I think having the confidence to fail has been my biggest growth, and part of that is community, and part of that is having space.
Back here at Kokomo is Anderson heading to the plate here in the third. It'll be Hogan, Jones, and Dorton. Hard work, heart, and hustle. That's the HCAC way, and we welcome you back here to Kokomo for this elimination game. Hogan at 276 on the year. Hits this one hard into center field, but caught there by Dillon. There's one away. And back to the top of the order. Here's Charlie Jones. Jones grounded out. His only plate appearance. Very dangerous hitter from the left side, and talked about leadoff guys with a lot of RBI. This is one of them. Charlie Jones, 32 runs driven in this season. Patton's pitch on the way is a breaking ball called strike. Did you enjoy your evening last night?
I did.
Good.
I did. Maybe a little too late for me, but I'm old, so.
Hit in the gap. Shiratori backhands the throw to first, and he's safe. Second time we have seen that ball deep in the hole, but Jones down the line gets the infield base hit.
Man, poor Shiratori. He's made a couple of great plays, but man, oh man, the long throw and the speed of the Anderson runners.
Watching Shiratori a little bit right there. And the other thing, this is 2 in a row now that have happened as Dorton steps to the plate 0 for 1. Now runner at first base and 1 out. The pitch, low and outside for a ball. Want to thank our friends at Hampton Inn and Suites here in Kokomo. We enjoyed free hot breakfast, free standard Wi-Fi with every stay. You can book a room today, 765-205-3194. I was the first one up this morning. And
what a surprise.
Yeah. Got my orange juice, as you guys know.
That's an understatement.
The 1-0 pitch, lined into right field, base hit. Jones rounding second. McElfresh quickly to the baseball, but now runners on the corners and 1 away.
Boy, Jones had to be heads up there because Dorton went right his direction, and can't let that ball snag here. You are OUT out.
So now Griffin Wolf visit to the mound. Dreyer out to talk with Patton. After an easy first inning, they got Jones, Dorton, and Wolf. Second time around, not quite as easy now for the right-hander Patton. Wolf 0 for 1, but he comes in. Again, we talked about a dangerous bat in the number 3 hole at 370 and the 45 runs driven in.
Yeah, 15 doubles, 7 dingers. I think that's good.
It also has to be nice to have a lot of good left-handed hitters.
Yes.
Brief meeting there with Patton. There is a left-hander throwing in the Transylvania bullpen. Stretch by Patton. Let's see if they'll run it first. The pitch swung on, hit deep in the hole at second, knocked down by Mitchum. His plays at first, but a run will score, and the Ravens now lead it 3-2.
It's exactly what you want. Ground ball to the right side, gets the run home, advances the runner. You got another runner in scoring position with 2 outs now.
That'll bring up Zach Stosky. Stosky singled and scored in the second. He, along with Tabor, able to get the Ravens on the board. Takes a huge cut there.
Well, it's interesting. We were freezing yesterday, and today it is. It's a sauna in here.
You can open that window if you want to.
Yeah, I guess I could, but there's not really any breeze. Look at the flags.
Yeah, that's true. It won't do you any good to open that window.
Nope. Chuck is enjoying this, though.
Yes, he is. The stretch by Patton and the pitch. Grounded to the third baseman, Tedesco. Strong throw across the diamond. That will do it for Anderson here in the third, but they pick up a run. We will head to the bottom half of inning number 3. Anderson 3, Transylvania 2. Back here in Kokomo, 3-2. We will now move to the bottom of the third inning. Excellence isn't optional. HCAC athletes chase it every day. Elimination game as we move to the bottom of the third. Shiratori, Tedesco, and Mitchum all due up. And there you see C.J. Williams getting his final warm-up tosses in. Look at this. We have the open press box now.
Ah, yeah.
Feel better?
Feeling good, yeah. Nice light breeze.
Yes.
Sun's not blasting on us. It's perfect.
Willie, you at this stage surprised by anything you've seen in the first 2.5 innings?
Not at all. I mean, 3-2 going into the bottom of the third. I think these teams are both so good at this point early in the outings for the pitchers. it's going to be, just little bites here and there, the 1 runs, the 2 runs. I think if there are going to be any big innings, it'll be late when arms start to wear out.
Shiratori steps in, takes that first pitch low and inside. Shiratori, the sacrifice in the first inning, so no official at bat as of yet. The pitch by Williams caught that outside corner for a strike.
By the way, if you haven't seen Transy yet, Shiratori is from Japan, went to IMG Academy in Florida, and now in Lexington.
Lined into left field, and that's going to fall in front of Barreca. He really made a smart play there because that ball was a hard judge to see, because those line drives that come right at you are the hardest ones to get.
Yes, and some outfielders, we discussed this a little bit last night. Some are more adept at coming in, and some are better at going back. And coming in is tougher because you got to, at some point, you got to make a decision. I got to put on the brakes, or this could be disastrous.
Baxter Tedesco steps to the plate. Pitch inside for a ball.
If you're going back, if I don't get it, it's going over my head regardless.
Right. Yeah.
So that's not a huge deal. You don't want to take a single and turn it into a triple when you're coming in.
1-0 pitch is low, 2-0. Tedesco reached on an error on Jones back in the first inning. The 2-0 pitch, inside 3-0.
I feel like that inside part of the plate to right-handed hitters has moved in a little bit. It was out there in the beginning, but the home plate umpires kind of reined it in a little bit.
There's a pitch right down the middle for a strike. 3-1, no outs with Shiratori. He has 13 stolen bases on the year.
He's looking to do damage here if he gets a fastball, but nope.
He pitches way outside. He may have got a fastball, but nowhere close to the plate. That'll bring up Henry Mitchum. So now runners at first and second. We mentioned the bullpen active on one side for Transylvania. There is a pitcher now standing and watching, but getting ready if needed.
Oh, you got to have guys ready to go at a moment's notice. This is a pivot point right here.
Mitchum hit into a double play his first time up. He shows bunt, and the pitch misses the strike zone, 1-0.
I mean, you got a young man here, second baseman, who is, you get a good look at him. He's pretty jacked, hitting cleanup. But you got 2 guys on, nobody out, and he squares the bunt.
Mitchum, 34 runs driven in. He'll show bunt again, and he steps up in the batter's box, and that sails over the head of Mitchum. That'll be a wild pitch. Runners will advance.
And that right there is why coaches want you, in this case, to square early.
Right.
Because when you square early, all of a sudden, the pitcher has to kind of recalibrate on the fly, and things like that happen. And now he doesn't have to bunt anymore. He's got a shot, nobody out. Sack fly, base knock. Get a run in.
Yeah, the pitcher's eyes all of a sudden look at the guy squaring instead of looking at the catcher. 2 balls, no strikes. Runners now at second and third. Infield is in. Fly ball. High in the air to center field. Dorton camping under it. Runners will tag, and the runner at third will score. And the tie ball game here at 3 in the third inning, still with just 1 away. Another sacrifice fly.
I love what Dorton did there. First, he set up, for those of you young people home watching, he set up to where he takes a step as he's getting ready to catch it, so his momentum's going forward. But he knew my play here is to keep that runner at second base. So he threw it to the shortstop instead of trying hero ball and trying to throw it all the way home, because then the runner advances to third.
Taylor steps to the plate, swings at the first pitch.
So now a base hit has to score Tedesco from second as opposed to another sac fly.
Well, just what you said a little bit ago, too. 1 punch, come back, take another punch.
Yep.
Taylor tripled and scored in the second inning. Tedesco down at second base, chance here to take the lead. The pitch by Williams is way outside. Now, we mentioned Williams has not thrown in this tournament yet. It's probably pretty tough to be sitting that long and now come in such a big game as this one right here. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ground ball to the shortstop, Jones. They're going to make a play at third. Tag laid on it, easily got Tedesco.
That right there is a mental mistake. You have to know when you're at second base, as the ball is hit in front of you to the shortstop, you do not go, because that exactly happens. You're now out of scoring position and there's another out. Those one of the mental mistakes we talked about.
Well, and we mentioned it earlier as Chris Hedinger steps to the plate, as we have seen in this tournament more than what you would think base running errors by all the 6 teams we have seen as that pitch is outside. So it isn't just today. We've seen it since it started on Thursday. Hedinger, sacrifice fly in the 2nd inning. The pitch, low and outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Hedinger has an RBI to his credit. Taylor down at first base, the stretch by Williams, and the pitch, low and outside, 3-0.
I want to make sure, I am not crushing Tedesco for that play.
Right.
I mean, you're trying to make plays to get people to win, but that's a basic baseball play where you just don't do that.
There's the strike. Well, again, it's basic, it's fundamental.
Yes.
It's just like freezing on a line drive. You don't automatically take off.
And those things are amplified in an elimination game.
Exactly. The stretch by Williams, and the pitch caught the inside corner for strike 2.
That's interesting, because sometimes when pitches are close like that and the catcher boxes it, they're not going to call it, but he gave it to him.
By the way, it is 3 balls and 2 strikes. Scoreboard said 2-2. We don't need that. What happened last night for sure.
Oh, boy, no.
This one is lined into center field. That's going to be a base hit. May score a run. Stosky able to bring it in quickly. Rounding third, heading to the plate. There will be no throw as Taylor scores from first. And Transylvania now leads it 4-3.
Okay, there's another play right there. Again, not to harp on the negative, but you can see Hogan, he hesitated. And after the play, he's looking at his teammates. This is just my judgment from seeing that. He was waiting for somebody to tell him what to do. A lot of times, the first baseman, the shortstop, will yell 4.
Right.
And that means throw it home. He didn't get any signal, so he didn't know what to do. So when he turned around, he sees the runner coming home. He didn't hear anything. He double pumps, no throw, run scores.
So now 4-3, 2 runs across. That'll bring up Houston Manning. Manning singled his first time up. And we got a balk call against Williams. We've seen that 3 times in this tournament as well, and we've got a visit to the mound. And we're going to get a new pitcher. The Ravens are not going to wait. We'll tell you about the new pitcher from Kokomo here on IndianaSRN.
What number?
Hi, I'm Zach Likens.
I'm Ella Zaborowski.
And I'm Darius Spokey, and we're admissions counselors here at Bluffton University. And we're going to show you some of our favorite places on campus.
College Hall, this is where it all began in 1899. It's home to Ramsire Auditorium and the Learning Resource Center, one of 3 student success centers on campus. The other 2, the Writing Center and the Center of Career and Vocation, are right next door in the Musselman Library. Our success centers are a big reason why 98% of our graduates are employed in graduate school or completing long-term service within the first 6 months of graduation.
This is Centennial, where many of your classes will be held. Bluffton has an 11-to-1 student-faculty ratio, which means your class sizes will be small and you'll get to know your professors. Plus, Bluffton has more than 90 majors, minors, and programs to choose from.
Ready to have some fun? Let's check out Marbeck Center, home to the Commons, where you eat. Marbeck Desk, where you can check out equipment like hammocks and bikes, and Bob's Place, where you can hang out and where our voluntary chapels are held. Bluffton has more than 60 clubs, student groups, and intramural sports like tennis ball golf.
Right behind me is Emory Sears Athletic Complex. It holds Salzman Stadium, Memorial Field, and the softball diamond. Stadium lights are recently installed on Alumni Field so games can be played under the lights. You'll also be able to enjoy Beaver tailgating, Bluffton Olympics, and movies under the stars on this end of campus.
Welcome to the Bluffton University Nature Preserve. It's 160 acres of natural beauty for students to enjoy year-round. There's a pond for catch and release fishing and water sports, hiking trails, and the swinging bridge. The cross-country team uses it for their home meets, and it also serves as a natural laboratory for some of our science clubs.
Well, the Anderson Ravens, the first team to go to their bullpen. Tell us about the new pitcher.
Number 25, Justin Schosberger. He is a senior from Dyer, Indiana, and Drain High School. 4.41 on the year, 3-2 the record. He has mostly started. I take that back. This is 12th or 13th appearance. He has 3 games started, 4 saves, 42 Ks, 16 walks.
And his first pitch was in there for a strike as Manning steps back in. Pitch on the way is low and outside. The runner at second base, still the responsibility of the starter. There is another right-hander throwing in the bullpen for the Ravens if needed. That is number 34.
And we've got a lefty in Transy's bullpen.
Well, Schosberger now falling behind in the count.
Jacob Moberly warming up for Transy, 5'10" senior from Elizabethtown, Kentucky.
See how patient Manning will be right here. The pitch on the way, high and outside. 3 balls and 1 strike now to Manning with Dreyer on deck.
This is where you get stressed as a manager.
Mm-hmm.
You bring a guy in from the bullpen, it is imperative that you throw strikes.
The stretch by Schosberger and time called. What made the interesting part about C.J. Williams is he got pulled because of the balk.
Yeah.
And that tells you a little bit maybe you're not quite where you need to be in a game like this.
Yeah, he seemed, after things that took place there with, you know, the wild pitch and those different things, and having given up 4, then that mental capacity where you just lose focus for a second, you can't lose focus in a game like this.
Yeah. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Schosberger comes set. 2 away. The pitch. Good cut there by Manning once again as he fouls it off. We've talked about Manning. Again, he's not a power hitter. He's a big fella, but no home runs. But he can hit at .329 coming in.
19 RBIs. Looking for 20.
And already has a base hit in this game. The payoff pitch on the way, lifted in the gap in left center field. That's going to score the run. 3 runs across, and an RBI base hit by Houston Manning. 2 for 2 today for Houston Manning. Here's Dreyer. So now Transylvania leads at 5-3. Dreyer reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning.
It's back and forth, back and forth.
Pitch in there for a strike. I don't know how many pitchers that Anderson has on their roster, but you might see them all by the time we're done.
That is entirely possible.
Except Southern. I'm not sure he still has an arm. Pitch low and outside.
I think it's still hanging about, 6-7 inches off the socket.
We talked about this weekend, or during this week, how we've seen so many things we've never seen before. There's a home run cut.
Here's the part of the lineup that's really important for Transy. I know they've got a 5-3 lead right now, but 8 and 9, Dreyer and McElfresh, 174 and 188. If these guys can do anything to contribute with what the Thunder they have at the beginning of the lineup, they're tough out even against Manchester.
You're exactly right. And so far, both 8 and 9 have been on base.
Well, Manning, your 7-hitter, 2 for 2.
Yeah. So we'll go 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Manning will get a good jump down at first base. Schosberger trying to end any further threat here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. The pitch on the way, hit foul. Dreyer jumped all over that pitch. So Manning on his way back to first base. We'll do it again.
Do you fancy throwing a breaking ball here?
Let's find out. Well, I don't think that was a breaking ball.
I don't think either one of the first 2 full count pitches have been breaking balls.
It doesn't appear that Schosberger is really overpowering either, so I would imagine most of his pitches are off-speed pitches, breaking pitches. See what he comes with right here. Outside, ball 4.
That's another thing that we've talked about, how today's game is so big on velocity.
Right.
Right? When location is so important. And people just want to throw 97, 98 miles an hour. Like, that's great, but if you're not going to hit the strike zone, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. McElfresh hit by the pitch in the second inning. Runners at first and second, still 2 outs. Schosberger's pitch is on the way, and he missed again. Well, you said it a little bit ago, Sean. When you bring a guy in and you're in trouble, you're expecting him to get you out of that jam, and so far that has not happened.
By the way, I want to point this out, and if there's a way, Jerry, we could get a picture from behind home plate. I learned something really interesting last night. If you see, there is a white circle in front of the pitcher's mound.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that's for?
I thought it was for softball.
No. It is for adult kickball leagues.
Really?
Yes. They have adult kickball leagues that play here at the stadium.
No kidding.
Yes, the white circle in front of the pitcher's mound. That's the pitcher's circle for kickball.
Interesting. Lifted high and foul. Well, listen.
Nugget of the day right there.
Since Thursday, how much have we learned? I mean, it's like an encyclopedia of stuff that is in my mind now. I'm going to have to go home and decompress.
Well, you mean, how many sports information directors do we have here? You know, they're full of information.
A lot. And after hearing some of the stories you learned last night, well, you could write a book.
Hey, I didn't. I just said there were stories. I did not reveal any stories. I want to make that perfectly clear to my cohorts.
I don't blame you. The 2-1 pitch. Boy, that was a half swing that time. He was completely fooled. We'll go to 2-2.
But I will say there's a reason all their eyes are brown.
Yes, there are. Yes. I was actually shocked when you said what time you got in.
I know. I was shocked too.
Does your wife know?
No.
Is she listening now? 2-2 pitch on the way, fouled off.
We'll find out. My phone will let me know here in a second.
I don't know, but I did kind of roll over to around 3 o'clock, and something Sean must have just walked into his room or something.
On what floor were you on?
3rd. What floor were you on? 3rd. The 2-2 pitch once again hit foul, and right now your number 9 hitter really battling.
When you're amongst friends and you're captivated by the conversation, time flies.
It does. It sounds like to me you might have a book in the future. My Night in Kokomo with the SIDs.
Tales from the HCAC SIDs.
Pitch on the way, little sidearm action there by Schosberger, and that didn't work either. 3-2. He may be on a short leash right here. If he misses this one, bases would be loaded.
The prologue would be how I fell asleep on the drive home from Kokomo.
Runners will get a jump. Here's the pitch. Line back up the middle. Base hit. Manning rounding 3rd. He will score, and it's now 6-3. How about your number 9 hitter, McElfresh?
There you go. I mean, it's bad enough you give up a base knock and another run, but it almost takes your head off.
Yeah. This is the 9th hitter now.
Oh, there we go again.
Wow. See if we're going to have a change right here.
Trainer's coming out. Maybe when he backed down or something with his finger?
I didn't see that he reached out and hit the baseball at all. But now he's looking, in fact, right now at the bicep area.
Oh, that's like ulnar nerve area. That's not good.
I wonder if that's what happened when he dropped down sidearm, and we haven't seen him do that yet. I wonder why he did that. Well, they're going to have to hurry now as they have a right-hander going in the bullpen.
Well, I believe on an injury you get as much time as you need.
I was just meaning the guy in the bullpen better be ready in a hurry. Looks like he's staying in.
We got down there 34.
That does not count as a visit to the mound there because of the potential injury. So let's see how Schosberger now will respond.
Landon Brooks, a freshman from Greenfield Central in Greenfield, Indiana, is warming up in the bullpen for the Ravens.
Okay. All right, top of the order, Ethan Dillon, 9th hitter at the plate here in the bottom of the 3rd. 4 runs are across. The pitch on the way, hit foul. Came back down sidearm again.
Maybe going sidearm actually makes it feel less painful.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, let's be real. I mean, a pitching motion for guys is not a natural movement.
Right.
Girls softball, that's more natural, which is why they can pitch more often.
Well, that pitch looked pretty good.
It did. And tougher to pick up from the batters.
Yeah. Dillon singled and scored in the 1st. He flew out in the 2nd. He's left 2 runners on base. The 0-2 pitch, sidearm again, fly ball right field. Stosky toward the line in foul territory, does make the catch. 9 batters go to the plate, they score 4. Transy leads at 6-3.
Let's hear from Aus, a senior biochemistry major from Syria. At Earlham, students can pursue applied minors like medical humanities to personalize their education and make unique connections between academics and personal interests. These programs also unlock opportunities for students to integrate international travel or co-curricular experiences into their core area of study. Tell us all about it, Aus. Take it away.
Habibi Alex, thanks for the intro. Hi everyone. Growing up, I moved around a lot. I attended 9 different schools across 5 countries. And because of this, diversity in education was important to me. And Earlham College with this diverse student body and opportunities did not disappoint. Earlham has many unique programs, like the Applied Minor programs. Through the Applied Minor programs, students get to personalize our education and make direct connections between academic interests and co-curricular activities. As a pre-med student, I have an applied minor in medical humanities, which integrates the study of ethics, history, and cultural aspects of medicine. This minor has been essential in shaping my understanding of healthcare from a comprehensive perspective. Through this program, I've been able to participate in various resources provided by the Center for Global Health. Programs like the Health Externship, which
Back here in Kokomo, it'll be Tabor, Bereka, and Sightsinger all due up, a 6-3 lead for Transylvania. Well, we know who struck first, we knew who struck second, third, and fourth, and then you come back with a big blow like Transy did in that half inning. Be interesting to see how the Ravens are going to respond.
Yeah, the judges scored that round 10-7 for Transy. Let's see how Anderson responds here in round 4.
1 ball and no strikes now to Tabor. Tripled and scored one of the 2 runs in the 2nd inning. Patton back in for another inning of work. Pitches outside.
Patton currently at 36 pitches.
The 2-0 called strike. Well, those 9 batter half innings can wear you down on a warm day like today, too.
Yes. And there are certain pitchers, and we're not sure, we know how Tabor is, Patton is, how much they like sitting in the dugout for a long time. Some guys just like to, let me get out there and stay warm, stay fresh, and not sit around a lot.
Yeah. Well, we are going to go, I think we're going to the bullpen now. That is going to do it for Patton. We have a pitching change on the way for Transylvania. We'll tell you about that new pitcher coming up next.
I'm Arvind Tapalia. I am Associate Professor of Physics at Franklin College. If you come to my class, you will see me suspending from a rope swing, singing physics songs in class, launching watermelons with giant catapults, lying on a bed of 5,000 nails, and getting struck by a sledgehammer. I teach all my classes at Franklin either using a flipped classroom approach or a project-based learning approach, or some combination of both, because I want my students to get excited about science, not just through lectures, but through hands-on interactive learning. And as a faculty, I feel really encouraged and supported by the college to step outside of the traditional teaching practices and explore and apply more engaging and experiential learning approaches. My enthusiasm sort of naturally translates into a more positive and engaging experience for my students. And I think teaching isn't just about delivery of content. I think it's more about creating an environment where both my students and I can grow together. As Einstein once said, I have no special talents, I'm only passionately curious. And I want my students to embrace that curiosity, whether it's in the classroom or beyond, and be confident in their ability to solve problems and learn from every experience.
We're back here in Kokomo, and Sean, tell us about the new pitcher.
Number 40, Jacob Moberly, a 5'10 senior from Elizabethtown, Kentucky. 8.44 ERA on the year. 1-0, only 10.2 innings on the season. 10 walks, 10 strikeouts. Batters hit .293.
And they go lefty against lefty as the pitch is on the way and a called strike. Is the reason you make the change and take Patton out is because you have so many left-handers in the lineup for Anderson?
Yes.
Here's the 0-1. Now what adjustments do you make if you're the Anderson Ravens? You certainly have, again, a good amount of left-handed hitters.
You know, the only thing I can possibly see is...
Ground ball gets through just in front of Tabor, who did a great job getting out of the way of that baseball. So now runners at first and second. Well, the lefty-lefty thing didn't bother Baraka that time. Here is Seitzinger. So now runners at first and second. Anderson trying to respond after giving up 4 runs in the last half inning. The pitch in there for a strike.
Well, one thing to remember is Cody Jackson played third base last night, and he took a sharp ground ball, bounced up and got him in the face. He's not playing right now, but he is a right-handed hitter who's available off the bench if necessary.
The 0-1 pitch, blowing outside. So Tabor's at second, Barek is at first. Seitzinger a sacrifice fly in the second inning. The stretch by Moberly, and here's the pitch. He'll square to bunt. First base, or should say third base side, but bunted foul. Tedesco charging hard.
Well, if he could have kept that fair, that could have been trouble all around.
Oh, yeah. By the way, for Patton, 41 pitches is all he threw, 28 strikes. Done very early. The pitch on the way, swing and a miss, got him. Seitzinger's out number 1. Nice pitch there by Moberly, and that'll bring up now Ben Brown.
I think another reason, too, is since he threw pretty well, you've got the left-hander to face the lefties, but now you may be able to use him again.
Right.
Should Transy advance.
Very good point as Ben Brown steps to the plate, struck out. But this is his first look at Moberly. And the pitch in there for a strike. One away here in the fourth. The pitch, he'll show bunt, low and outside.
Well, just a lot of guys in this tournament show bunt and then pull the bat back.
They sure do. How many times have we seen a hitter show bunt and the pitcher comes high and tight and knocks you back off the plate? Here's the 1-1 pitch. Jammed him, and he'll foul it away.
Or last night when we saw, a potential bunting situation with a runner on first, and the first baseman stayed at first and the second baseman charged.
That's right.
That was something new that we hadn't seen.
We may see it again.
Mm-hmm.
The 1-2 pitch. Good cut again by Ben Brown. Brown earning the starting spot as the designated hitter. Hit a home run yesterday. Yesterday was a grueling day, I think, for everybody. Getting that loser's bracket, it can be a long day. The 1-2 pitch. Lifted high in the air to right field. McElfresh battling that high sky. He's near the line, makes the catch in fair territory. The two runners will advance. 2 away, and now runners at second and third. Here's Dylan Hogan.
That's good base running by both runners. As they saw McElfresh continue to drift further back, they knew they had a shot. And Barreca definitely started as it can make it. Now you got two ducks out there on the pond.
Hogan 0 for 1. This is his first look at the left-hander Moberly. Foul tip held on by Dreyer. Absolutely beautiful day here in Kokomo. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Low and inside.
We're even now.
I only did it to tease him.
Oh, yeah.
See if he was paying attention. Every once in a while, you got to throw something out there.
I thought it was only in response to someone else solidifying their point, not just making a statement.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's lined in left field. It's going to be a base hit. Tabor will score. Rounding third and holding will be Barreca, and they may have had a play at third. So they get one of those runs back, and it's now 6-4. There's another nice hit by your number 9 hitter.
It is. I'm curious, would you have sent him?
No.
Now with 2 outs?
No.
Yeah, 2 outs, leadoff hitter's coming up. He's a righty.
Yeah, I don't like making that final out at the plate. So now Charlie Jones will step up. He's 1 for 2. Has a run scored. Now runners at first and third. Ground ball toward the third baseman. Tedesco backhands it, fires, and that'll do it for Anderson here in the fourth. But they get a run back. We'll head to the bottom half of inning number 4. Transylvania 6, Anderson 4.
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you could be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
Sure you want to make that move?
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
Back here in Kokomo, on the field and off, HCAC athletes are leaders for life, and we also want to thank the following organizations for their donations to make this broadcast possible. The Hacienda Mexican Restaurant, Oscar's Pizza, Jimmy John's, Coca-Cola of Kokomo, and the Greater Kokomo Visitors Bureau. And as always, we thank Hampton Inn and Suites in Kokomo as well. How did you sleep last night, by the way?
Not for very long. It's the one thing about getting older. Like you can force yourself to stay up,
Yeah.
Like mentally you can do that, but in the morning your body's like, time to get up. Yeah. And you're like, wait a minute, no.
That's constant battle for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
All right. Bottom of the fourth, Shiratori, Tedesco, and Mitchum all due up. Great to have you with us on a beautiful Saturday. 6-4 your score. Anderson got it run back. We have seen it now consistently throughout the entire day where, as you said, we use that analogy, a heavyweight fight. You take a punch, you come back and hit the other guy in the upside the head, and we're just going to keep doing that.
Schosberger back out on the mound.
Yeah, a little surprise here, and there's nobody throwing in the bullpen. You know, the thing is, though, after that visit, and he's been doing not exclusively sidearm, but maybe close.
Yes.
He's been much better. Ground ball right side. That'll get through. Shiratori, his second hit as he goes the opposite way. Maybe by accident, Schosberger found a new delivery that he never knew he had.
Man, if there's any game besides golf that lends itself to an inordinate amount of tinkering, it's baseball.
Yeah. Well, he comes sidearm again and missed low to Tedesco.
I mean, just go look at Cal Ripken Jr.'s career highlights and look at how many different stances he had at home plate as a hitter. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. He changed it all the time.
And is there anything wrong with that?
Not at all.
You have to adjust maybe to a different pitcher. I see nothing wrong with it. He'll show bunt again, trying to get Shiratori down to second base. Then he squares and hits a foul to our right. We'll go to 1-2.
I mean, talk about the fact of, something we discussed last night, how so many more pitchers now just pitch all the time from the stretch.
Yeah.
Not having to adjust, like that chess game that goes on.
1-2 pitch, got him looking. Got to swing the bat right there, and Tedesco strikes out. That's the first strikeout, I believe, for Schosberger.
It is.
Here's Mitchum. Mitchum grounded into a double play in the first, a sacrifice fly in the third, has an RBI. I know anybody that has played baseball and you're at the plate, that pitch is lined into center field. Will it get down? And it does. Base hit. Shiratori on to second. Mitchum gets his first hit. Now runners at first and second for Taylor. My point was going to be, we've all been there. We come to the plate looking for a certain pitch. Next thing, a pitch goes by and you strike out looking. It's not a good feeling.
No.
Very humbling. Because you got to walk back with the bat in your hand and you didn't do anything.
Yes, exactly.
Taylor's been on base twice. He has scored twice. 1 for 2, and that pitch nearly got away from Tabor.
Always makes me reminder of my oldest son's final at bat playing Little League as a youngster. At one time I'm sitting literally by the on-deck circle, and I was like, don't take the bat. And my wife just smacks me. And I'm like, if you're not going to swing, don't even take the bat.
Yeah. Did he take the bat?
He did take the bat.
Oh, good.
Did he swing? No. Struck out looking. I told my wife he could take a boat oar up there. He's not going to swing it.
That pitch in there for a strike. It would have been funny if he went up there without the bat, though.
I would have been, yeah.
Umpire probably look at him like, what are you doing? Well, swing it anyway. Why haul this thing all the way over here?
Exactly, yeah.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Down the line, foul. Boy, he jumped on that one. Taylor got that triple back in the second inning. He's trying to get another one.
The only time with either of my boys when they played sports that I tried negative reinforcement to work in, it didn't. None of it did.
Didn't end up signing a major league deal or anything.
No, both of them are not. I mean, my youngest has become a baseball fan in the last couple of years, but that's about it.
Here's your 1-2 pitch. Popped up foul and out of play. Well, it is a difficult sport to play, hitting-wise especially. And they always talk about round ball, round bat, but you got to be a You got to be a decent athlete to play this game.
That is true.
1 ball and 2 strikes.
Just wish they would have found something.
Pitch on the way is outside.
At this point, I wish it would have been golf, because then I'd have somebody to play with.
Exactly.
So my wife doesn't play sports.
Well, get your sons interested in it.
Well, I'm trying. I mean,
they're not biting.
No, not into any sports at all.
Break-even pitch on the way. Base hit left field. See if they'll send the runner. They are going to send the runner. Here's the throw. The relay, not in time. Shiratori scoring from second base. And that is aggressive base running there by Transylvania.
It is aggressive base running, but if that throws lower, I think they nail him at the plate.
So now a 7-4 ball game here in the 4th. That'll bring up Chris Hettinger.
As that cutoff throw was high to Tabor behind the dish, and he had to come down, and it was a close play anyway. As we'll look at the replay here.
There's a ground ball to the shortstop, Jones. He'll get one at second. The relay to first in time. Gets the Ravens out of the half inning, but they give up a run. Transylvania leads at 7-4.
This is the hotel breakfast.
It looked different online.
Do you children like eggs? Here, they make your bones grow.
It'll be fine. It's gonna be fine.
All right, guys. Look alive.
Is it fine, Daryl?
I'm starving.
When free hot breakfast can make or break your day, it matters where you stay.
Go get 'em.
Hampton by Hilton. Hilton for the stay.
Your poached egg on avocado toast.
Ew.
Your flash fried porgy over chips.
Ew.
Your fresh main lobster with microgreens.
When the only thing your 8-year-old will eat is waffles,
She's fine. She's fine. Your waffles, milady.
it matters where you stay.
Yum.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Hampton by Hilton. Hilton for the stay.
We want to thank the fine folks at the Hampton Inn and Suites here in Kokomo. They have taken care of us over the last few days. Always get that free hot breakfast, free standard Wi-Fi with every stay, and a very friendly staff. Book a room today if you're in the Kokomo area or anytime soon. Mark them down. Hampton Inn and Suites, 765-205-3194. We head. Yeah, and all the orange juice you can drink, guaranteed. We will head to the 5th inning. It'll be Dorton, Wolf, and Stosky. Moberly back in for another inning of work. It's a 3-run deficit. Dorton 1 for 2. And the pitch low and inside. Not only have we seen some interesting things here on the diamond over the last 3 days, as the 1-0 pitch is right in on his foot and hit him. So Dorton will maybe get down to first base.
You wonder if that maybe got him on the old ankle bone.
I was mentioning we've seen some interesting things here on the diamond, but I have never, at any time in my life, remember having that much orange juice in one morning. And what is surprising is, at this stage of the ball game in the 5th inning, I haven't gone up and gone anywhere, if you know what I mean, either.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing. Well, another Anderson player. We have seen the trainer busy here today. Went out and saw Schossberger earlier, and this time it'll be Trey Dorton, but that probably caught him right on the bone, and
oh yeah,
we know how that feels. So
not pleasant.
Not at all. Here's Griffin Wolf, 0 for 2. Well, if there's any good news to that, if you're a Transylvania fan, I doubt very much that Trey's going to feel like stealing. Not yet, anyway.
That is true.
There is a right-hander throwing now for Transylvania. So we may see another change here if Moberly gets into trouble with that 3-run lead.
Is that 35?
It is, I believe, 35. I'm waiting for him to turn around. Yes.
Kemper Dotson, 6'2" junior from Frankfort, Kentucky, in the bullpen.
A home run cut there by Wolf. He was looking for number 8. We're in the top of the 5th inning. This is the elimination game.
Number 2 seed Anderson and number 4 seed Transy for the right to play the number 1 seed Manchester.
They're going to be well rested. Pitch outside. I would imagine from a Transylvania standpoint, they're like, why come all this way if we're not going to win it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a long, long haul. The 1-1 pitch nearly got him. 2-1. Believe me, in this tournament, we have seen more hit batters than we probably have seen in any tournament in a long time.
Yes.
So it's nothing new. The 2-1, outside corner for a strike, 2-2. Dorn, the lead down at first base after being hit by a pitch. Ground ball could be 2. Mitchum turns, flips to second base. Shiratori, the only play he had is that. I thought maybe Mitchum, he kind of spun back around to his left. I thought maybe he'd just make that turn, pivot, and throw and give a better throw to Shiratori.
Yeah.
So 1 away, and that'll bring up Stosky.
Wolf can get down the line pretty well, too, so that makes a difference. You notice we got some guys out there underneath the scoreboard taking in the action.
Probably not a bad idea. I would imagine as that's hit foul, it's probably a couple of fathers that don't want to be anywhere around all this.
That is exactly how I would be, for sure. Let me be away from everybody.
Yep.
So I can be more nervous for my kid than I ever was for myself.
You don't want to hear any comments.
Nope.
Stosky a single and a run scored in the second. 1 for 2. Moberly comes set. Here's the pitch. Hit foul. Well, I can definitely tell you, I always bring my binoculars, they are 2 Anderson Raven fans. So.
And the third one's kind of moseyed on out there, too.
Yeah. He's coming in, though.
Ooh. Got around quick on that one. We got some out here, too, behind center field. I mean, well, just the walkway around this entire stadium is just gorgeous.
It is. By the way, that, too, is an Anderson fan.
All right. You can see the Transy charter buses out beyond right field. Ooh.
Hit well into center field. Dillon going back on it. That ball continues to carry. Dillon reaches up and makes the catch.
Uh-oh.
And the runners are going to have to retreat. And they're going to get the double play. How about that play by Dillon?
Wow.
Excellent defensive play ending the half inning. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Transylvania leads this one 7-4.
This is the hotel breakfast.
It looked different online.
Do you children like eggs? Here, they make your bones grow.
It'll be fine. It's gonna be fine.
All right, guys. Look alive.
Is it fine, Daryl?
I'm starving.
When free hot breakfast can make or break your day, it matters where you stay.
Go get him.
Hampton by Hilton. Hilton for the stay.
Your
She didn't turn the mic on.
I'm Glennae Meinhardt from the biology department, and I have been working with students on trying to find this really rare insect called Merope tuber, the forceps fly. So we've been on the hunt for this mysterious, weird bug that we don't know much about. Finding the insects has been really tough. A couple of years ago, we found a bunch of them at around the same time of the year. It was a county record. It had never been found here before.
What we're thinking right now is that they reside underground, and so it's a lot more difficult for us to catch them. We've been using these, they're called malaise traps. It's like a bunch of mesh nets that are set up that will intercept the insects in their flight path, and then they'll crawl up into a tube of ethanol, which we'll then collect and look through.
And without having the specimens, we can't really answer any of our questions that we have. So what causes them to emerge from the ground? Where are they even living? The immature stages have never been found. Nobody knows.
Houston Manning will lead things off 2 for 2 today, and what a great catch we just saw. And Transylvania really feeling the momentum after that nice play, and the pitch is outside for a ball.
Boy, Stosky put a charge into that, and it was dead central and all the way back to the wall, tracked down. And so much so, you know, that the runner, Wolf, thought there's no shot at him getting that, so he just turned second, was on his way to third, and they're like, uh-oh. And then he slips trying to get back, no shot.
No shot at all. 2 balls, no strikes. The pitch in there for the first one for Schatzberger, who's back in for another half inning of work, with the bullpen now stirring once again.
And that's got to be deflating on multiple accounts. One, that you get doubled up to end the inning.
Yeah.
But if you're Strosky, right, like, how much better can I hit a ball?
Yeah.
And the one spot I'm going to hit it where it's not going to go out is where I hit it.
Yeah. Yep. That pitch a little bit low for a ball. Leadoff walk now for Houston Manning, who's been on base now 3 times. Bryce Dreyer steps to the plate.
I feel like we're going to see a bunt here.
I think we were in that same situation the last time, weren't we? With Manning down at first base and
so.
Dreyer was at the plate. He does show bunt, and in fact, Dreyer ended up walking.
Getting hit. I thought, or did he get hit?
He ended up walking that time. Yeah.
Oh no, it was the wild pitch, wasn't that when he
had a
squared
wild
the bunt?
pitch?
Wild
Yes.
pitch, yeah.
That was to Shiratori when he was at the plate. Nonetheless, the bottom of this order has been on base 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Maybe how many times they've been to the plate?
There you go.
7 times. The 2-0 up high.
You know, it's like the I don't want to say it was. I'm trying to think of the guy's name now. Brian Doyle, back in the late '70s with the Yankees. Like, who is this guy playing second base for the Yankees? And then he's just a huge part of them winning the World Series. Or a David Eckstein for the Cardinals. I know that hurts you to bring that up.
Thank you.
But you know, those unsung guys that you don't expect it from, when they step up their game and give you that extra, it catapults a team.
It sure does.
We didn't need that in 2016 because everybody was a star. So just to let you know, too, 2016 is a lot more recent than 2011.
True. Here's a bunt, first base side. Wolf charging. He'll lay on the tag. He does get the runner down to second base. Good sacrifice by Dreyer, and here is Colin McElfresh. McElfresh was hit by a pitch in the second, singled in the third. You know, it's funny about bringing up those years is how far they're now getting away, aren't they?
Man. I'm telling you.
Now you begin to think, will I be alive when they win the next one?
Yeah. You always said, just give me one, and now you're like, am I only going to get one?
And pitch outside.
And that's for multiple sports. That's for multiple teams.
Yes.
For me.
I'm getting a little lucky lately with, at least collegiately. And then, of course, the Celtics won it last year. Pitches outside. So I'm not starving completely to death, but I'm getting close on a couple others.
I've had 3 hockey, which is nice. Not a Bulls fan. I'm from Illinois, for those of you that are unaware. But I never really followed basketball, NBA.
There's a walk to McElfresh. He's been on base all 3 times.
Until I moved to Indiana, and I'm now a Pacers fan, and they took it on the chin last night.
Badly.
Yeah.
That might be it for Schosberger.
It is.
We have a pitching change. So the Ravens will make the change. We'll tell you about that new pitcher coming up here on Indiana SRN.
Is it the 30?
Laney Kelly, I'm a sophomore. I'm from Newburgh, Indiana. I'm a double major in marketing and sports management with a minor in sports communication, and I'm a part of the women's soccer team here in Manchester.
My name's Kenneth Red. I'm a junior. I'm a business management major, minor in coaching. I also run track.
Samaritan's Feet is a nonprofit organization.
Helps send shoes to kids around the world. Delaney and I partnered to help bring shoes to kids in North Manchester area.
Samaritan's Feet started to kind of do NIL deals for student athletes, as that's kind of become a bigger thing in college sports. Asking for money is never easy. Like, we've seen that just both being business majors and taking sales classes. Trying to explain this to 85 different people, you sound like you're repeating yourself, but in reality, like, it's good for us in a way because we're figuring out how to make it more of like an impactful way to explain it. So we're kind of trying to find other ways to go around raising donations. And some of the events that we've kind of planned to do is a give back night with Keyhole Pizzeria, which is in downtown North Manchester.
It was very welcoming and accepted us in. And they actually showed us a jar that they got going on where they actually give back to homeless already. So when we came in with the idea of 2 college students coming in trying to give back to North Manchester, they was excited about the idea. So we got that going. Then we also have a cornhole tournament that we're trying to put in works. Our biggest goal is we would like to at least be able to get a $25 donation, but at the least end of it, we wouldn't mind just to share. Any little thing helps. It don't got to be the full 25. It can be whatever you can afford. We'd be greatly appreciative.
A donation of $25 gets a pair of shoes, a hope bag, and then also a handwritten letter from me and Kenny. I think the reason that I was the most passionate about joining Samaritan's Feet and doing an NIL deal with them was because it allows me to give back to the community of North Manchester. And even when I was at home, I was doing a lot of service work and being that voice for someone in the community that might not have it. And so that was really the big passion for me behind it.
And for me, just always growing up less fortunate and without, public role models in my life, kind of wanted to be that role model that I never had. My biggest plan was always to try to help give back as much as I possibly can. And this was the best way of showing that while I'm still a student athlete.
Right-hander in for the Ravens. Tell us a little bit about the new guy.
Number 34, Landon Brooks. He's a freshman from Greenfield, Indiana, Greenfield Central.
High fly ball, right center field. Dorton deep in the hole. He won't get to it. That will bounce over the fence for a ground rule double. It will score a run. And Transylvania adds another run here in the 5th inning.
Manning scores again. This is the 12th appearance for Landon Brooks, 6.13 ERA. 2-3 is his record. Started 4 games, 39.2 innings pitched, 14 Ks, 18 walks. Opponents. There is no opponent's batting average. I apologize. As of today, it's 1,000.
Yes, it is. Infield is in. Shiratori steps to the plate. And the pitch a called strike. Well, that ball carried 2 into right field.
It did very well. And this could be a hammer and nail moment right here if you're Transy and you keep it rolling.
Hit toward the second baseman, Hogan, playing in close, makes the play there and gets the second out of the inning.
Big out.
That'll bring up Tedesco. Tedesco is 1 for 2, has a walk, a strikeout to his credit. And they will intentionally walk him to get to Henry Mitchum.
Do you find that surprising?
I do. Mitchum is a RBI guy. 1 for 2 with a run driven in. Bases loaded, 2 outs. So now Brooks ready to go to work. The pitch on the way, grounded down the line, but foul. I always take it as this. You can take it a couple of different ways. They either don't think of me as much of a hitter, or I'm not as good as the guy you walk, or I'll take it as I'm going to show you.
Right.
You kind of take that attitude, right?
Right. Oh, you want to walk him to face me?
I'm going to show you how insulting that is.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the 0-1. That's going to be a wild pitch. A run will score. And that backfired for the Ravens. And now you still have runners at second and third. 9 runs scored now by Transylvania. And I'm pretty sure at one point I wasn't thinking 9 runs.
I think that's a standing 8 count right now.
Yeah, I agree. So now Mitchum a chance to drive in maybe one more. Blowing outside. Another right-hander throwing for the Ravens in their bullpen. That is number 3.
Logan Nickel from Westfield.
Saw him earlier in the tournament. Lined into left, base hit. They're going to wave the runner from second. Here's the throw to the plate. In time, great throw by Barreca to get the final out, but they scored another run as Transylvania continues to be very aggressive on the base paths. They lead at 10-4.
Every person has a story waiting to be told. Mr. Jack comes in every Monday.
Yeah, that's right.
One day I noticed his hat said he was a Korean War veteran. I asked him if he'd ever been to the Korean War Memorial.
No, I never had a chance to go.
That was the day I knew we had to do whatever it took to get him there.
Manny made it happen. I got to go to Washington, D.C. to all the memorials. The World War II Memorial, Naval Memorial, Korean War Memorial. Took all kind of pictures and everything, and it was a good trip, too.
I'm glad that I could be a part of Mr. Jack's story.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN. We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Back here in Kokomo, let's take a look at these last 2 plays that have made a difference. This is the base hit to left field, and you're going to see them wave the runner on. This is a great throw. We didn't even quite make it all the way to home plate.
Well, you know, that's at least 3 outfield assists to home for Barreca in the last 2 games, and probably could have had a couple more with some better cutoff throws.
Runner's like, oh, come on. That was too easy. All right, here is Tabor, Barreca, and Seitsinger all due up for the Ravens. Down by 6 now in the 6th inning. And that pitch getting away from Dreyer.
Maybe some confusion on that one.
Transylvania has scored in every inning. 13 hits now by the Pioneers. That'll be ripped foul.
Relentless.
Yes. Including 4 runs in the 3rd, 3 runs in the 5th inning. And they're not just, they're not really, you think they're hitting the ball really hard. There hasn't been too many that have been crushed, but they are just on target so far today against Anderson. Off the end of the bat, Taylor flipping on to Moberly, 1 away. Here's Barreca. Barreca, 1 for 2. You start thinking now, and I'm sure the Anderson coaching staff is starting to look ahead a little bit. We've got to get something going here pretty quick because we're getting late into this game. Championship game at 4:30. Pitch is low and outside. And then, of course, we have a team right here in Transylvania playing with a lot of momentum. We saw the energy last night. You see it again today. What will they have if they advance to the later game?
And should this result hold up, that really just, it's so difficult to beat a team twice, right, in a situation like this, but not to mention how much more depleted their rotation and bullpen is than Manchester.
Yeah. 2 balls and 1 strike. Pitch is outside.
Because even though Anderson scored quite a few runs last night, Leighton?
Yeah, Leighton.
For Manchester, still took up a big chunk of innings because Manchester was mashing so much.
Fly ball into left field. Hedinger near the line, reaching up to make the catch, 2 away. And right now, somewhere, Anderson is going to have to find some energy here as Seitzinger steps to the plate. He's 0 for 1 with a sacrifice. See if we'll have a new pitcher for the Ravens in the next half inning as well. But now Moberly, he may go for a while if he can just get the outs and carry the rest away, because again, like you said, then we're thinking about how much more pitching they may have for that championship game.
You got the cushion, so go out and throw strikes. Let the guys behind you make the plays, and give us some innings so we can save some arms for later tonight.
Count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. The stretch by Moberly, the pitch. Now he's down at 1-2.
Well, there's 2 in the Transy bullpen.
Not a whole lot going there for the Ravens either, as he'll reach out and poke this one foul. Well, the nice thing about today with the weather the way it is, this is what baseball should be. And we don't have any factors, nothing that'll play into the game itself. Here's the 1-2. Well, Dreher tried to frame that one on the outside, but it was a little bit too far outside the black. 2 balls and 2 strikes. A little bit low, 3-2.
You definitely don't want to walk guys, as we've seen. That is playing with fire.
Payout pitch on the way, got him looking. Seitzinger strikes out, and the half inning. We will head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Transylvania leading it 10-4.
Over the past few days, as I have reflected on the extraordinary life of Pope Francis, I have been touched by the profound value he placed on education. He stated that education is, quote, one of the most effective ways of making our world and history more human, close quote. Indeed, he believed that education plays a critical role in promoting human value and dignity, personal growth, and cultivating relationships with others. I certainly share in this fundamental belief that education has a profound and positive impact on individuals and on our greater world. And I could not be prouder to continue to pursue my life's vocation here at the Mount with each of you. Indeed, we've had a remarkable academic year here at the Mount, marked by many achievements. The Mount's total enrollment is up more than 5% this academic year from last year, a testament to the remarkable work of our faculty and staff. The Mount continues to be a national leader in reading science and ranks first in Ohio for our undergraduate education degree. Our health sciences students achieved 100% pass rates this year on 3 critically important professional examinations as they embark on their professional careers. The Bachelor of Science, NCLEX.
Well, there is at least 3 players for the Spartans. They're just enjoying the sunshine, kicking back, listening to some music, and getting ready for that championship game coming up today at 4:30. I like the guy in the pants. He's just like, I'm going to listen to music. All right, here we go. In the bottom of the 6th inning, Taylor, Hettinger, and Manning all due up. Brooks back in for another half inning of work for the Ravens. Do we have a Hampton Inn and Suites trivia question coming up in the 7th?
I believe we do.
I've not seen the big fella in a while.
He's just over there chopping it up in the score booth.
There's a called strike to Taylor. Taylor 2 for 3, couple of runs scored. He has driven in a run. Transy would love to add to that 6-run lead. Brooks will come set. That one took the catcher's glove off of Tabor. Now, usually you might see that if somebody's throwing 100. You ever seen a slow motion of a catcher's glove?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my Lord.
It's crazy.
And you're sitting down there catching that thing? 1-1 pitch, low and outside.
That's why they have all that protective equipment.
Yeah, well, if that gets through, so much for that protective equipment.
Yes, that is true.
2 balls and 1 strike. Grounded foul. You know, I must say that I'm a little disappointed that I'll be walking out of here with very few baseballs this year. Usually I'm out of here with a dozen or so, but this year nothing. Somebody's beat me to the rooftop.
You know, normally it's our field reporter who takes care of all that, but
This
not
one,
sure what happened there.
I know. Lined into right field. That'll be a base hit. Taylor heading to second with a sliding double. Good start here in the 6th inning for Transy. Second extra base hit now for Austin Taylor. Chris Hettinger will step to the plate. He has a base hit and a run scored.
Taylor, if my scorecard is right, is a home run shy of the cycle.
You know what? That is a great observation. So he's, at 75%?
Mm-hmm. Normally the triple is the hardest one to get, but he got that one out of the way first.
He did. Hettinger steps up. A couple of runs driven in, and he took one for the team right there. So now runners at first and second.
The 863rd hit by pitch this tournament.
I bet we have a record here, at least for this tournament.
See, now I'm going to struggle with, if I'm Manning and I'm 3 for 3, if the coach asks me to bunt, he's like, Coach, I'm white hot right now.
Well, Manning steps up. He is showing bunt. See if Brooks will come inside on this pitch as well. He pulls back. It is low for a ball. Manning, or I should say Brooks, not happy. He thought that was a strike.
Yeah, he was asking if that was inside.
See if Manning will square. He does. It's low, ball 2. I think you're right. He's probably thinking, you know what? I'm just teasing the guy. I want a base hit here. We're not going to play this game.
I'm going to pull the bat back and swing away.
That's right. The 2-0 pitch. He does bunt it. Third base side. Good bunt, and then it goes foul. One thing about that turf is, again, you're always going to get a true bounce. But there are times you wish that was in the dirt. It rolled back. You know, the groundskeeper doesn't do a perfect job, and it rolled back fair. And
no, they would never do that.
No. Of course, I'll tell you what, you and I played a long time ago. This whole thing would never even come into play. We were on rocks and dirt outfield, dirt infield. No sliding pants.
No such thing as grass on the infield whatsoever.
No. There's a big shift there by all the infielders, anticipating another bunt. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That was interesting.
That was. You had third and first coming in. Shortstop went to third, and the second baseman went to first. Showing bunt again. Let's see if he pulls back. There they go. They're going to throw to second, and they almost threw it away. Hey, good job by Hogan there trying to sell that.
Yeah, he tried to deke him, but fish ain't biting.
Nope. Maybe if it had taken a couple of more steps, he might have.
Yeah.
2 balls and 2 strikes here to Houston Manning. Now the break-even pitch. He does bunt it. Coming off is Brooks. He'll throw to third, and they got the out there. The bunt just a little bit too hard by Houston Manning. So 1 away, and that'll bring up Bryce Dreyer.
Cut.
Dreyer's got him a cheering section here as he will step to the plate 0 for 1. Just 1 away here in the bottom of the 6th inning as Transy trying to add to their 6-run lead. Grounded up the middle, could be 2. Jones to Hogan to Wolf. And the inning over. We had 2, the 7th. It is 10-4 Transylvania.
A lot of times when you come to Rose, students will say the work is hard. And it is.
There's rumors about the difficulties of Rose Holman. I would say they're on par for the most part.
But 9 times out of 10, at the end, the student's gonna end with that statement, but it's worth it, or I really enjoy it. And I think that's really the key part. Like, if you really like doing something, it's gonna be a lot of work.
So the commonality is just the love for science and math. Mathematics is really the basis of all science and engineering. It's the language that we use.
We need to make sure that they have that backbone in order to succeed as future scientists and engineers.
We collaborate as faculty, and they see how one class starts to impact another class.
Math, science, technology, how intertwined they are.
Our students are very driven in everything that they're doing.
It's that opportunity to be pushed, because we do push the student to see what it is that you're actually capable of. We're not just saying, here, go do this hard project. We are right there with them. I think that matters.
Our job is to create a safe place to fail. That would be terrifying if you did that alone.
That results in students that are ready to walk out of the door and into their place of work, ready to be a productive contributor.
So our professors all know us by name.
It was refreshing to know that I would have a relationship with my professors.
And I think that's key.
Well, Ben Brown will lead things off here in the top of the 7th inning. A 6-run lead for the Pioneers, trying to advance to the championship game at 4:30 to take on Manchester. And that pitch is high, ball 1. Brown is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. He's the 8th hitter in the lineup. Not as productive as what we have seen on the other side between the 7, 8, and 9 hitters for Transylvania.
That is true.
1 ball and 1 strike. We'll go to 1 and 2. The center fielder, Dillon, is shaded over toward left field. So there's quite a gap between Dillon and McElfresh, and left center, should say right center. And a big gap down the line is McElfresh way off the line there. Pitch low and outside. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Break-even pitch hit deep into center field. Dillon drifting back makes the catch, 1 away. That'll bring up Dylan Hogan. Hogan 1 for 2 with an RBI. By the way, the trivia master is here.
Yes, yes.
Moberly coming inside, ball 1. This is really big for Moberly. He talked about it earlier that if he can eat up the rest of these innings, how big that could be in that championship game, that they could have some extra arms. And even when you have a 6-run lead like this, just have him take up that much and how important that is for this team right now is just undeniable.
And a lot of people would say, well, then he didn't get to pitch in the championship game. You don't understand how important his outing is right now to get them there.
Exactly. Heads up. There's nobody right below us, so.
There's some people. Oh, the person right below us got it.
There you go.
Yeah.
It took a bounce. They didn't catch it.
Nice catch.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one bouncing in front of Dreyer and caught a piece of him. Moberly's like, I'm sorry about that, man. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Transylvania taking the mystery out of this contest by scoring 8 runs over the last, 3rd, 4th, and 5th innings. This popped up back our way again.
Look alive.
Ten runs, 14 hits, no errors for Transylvania. 4-6-1 for Anderson. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way, grounded toward Mitchum, who'll backhand it off the turf and make the throw for out number 2.
Yeah, the 3rd inning was huge with the 4 runs scored, and then they got 3 more in the 5th.
And the one thing about it is, too, they got to start it early in that 3rd inning. They didn't waste a whole lot of time getting guys on base and sacrificing and getting key base hits, as there's a strike to Jones. The 0-1 pitch. Did he go around? I don't think he did. Yep, they say he did. So Charlie Jones quickly down at 0-2. He didn't argue about it.
Did not. Very nonchalant call down there at first base, just a little.
Wasn't that the umpire last night who made that call late?
The time?
Yeah. That's a hot shot down the line, fair ball. Jones will get extra bases. Henniger deep in the corner, and Jones the double with 2 outs. That'll bring up Trey Dorton.
Good to see Dorton still in the game after taking one off the ankle bone.
Yeah.
Earlier. Somebody getting excited.
Is that somebody you know, or is that somebody related to Keith?
I think somebody that's close to Dorton.
There you go. Dorton 1 for 2. And now a visit to the mound as you see some words of encouragement there for Moberly. You ever think that maybe one player's watching for the home plate umpire, and when he gets about halfway, you break it up just to see if you can irritate him a little bit?
Wouldn't surprise me.
Hey, here
why would players do that?
Yeah, I don't understand that. Here is Dorton. Anderson has been in a little funk over the last 3 innings. They have not scored. Trying to come back from a 6-run deficit. There's a strike.
Good pitch right there.
2 away as we play here in the top of the 7th inning. The Hampton Inn and Suites trivia question is right around the corner, as we all wait with bated breath. You know, that's not a bad idea. Our producer said we may not have time for it.
Uh-oh.
Because there's going to be a 5-minute commercial.
He wants a long break there. I'm not sure how.
Sorry, you'll have to come back next time. They're going to throw to second base. Hey, we learned early that you do what the producer says.
Yes.
If he says 5 minutes, it's 5 minutes.
Yes.
You're the vice president of operations? Really? I didn't. Popped up right side. McElfresh is there, will make the catch, and that will do it for Anderson. They leave a man on in scoring position here in the 7th. Do not leave yet. It is time for the Hampton Inn and Suites trivia question, and the VP of Operations and Management, or whatever else you call yourself, you're here for the trivia question.
Hello, fellas. How are you? First time for today.
What have you been doing?
I've been outside with Chuck.
Oh, good.
We've been chasing foul balls.
Did you get any?
No.
Okay.
Here we go. What year was the designated hitter rule introduced?
1974, Ron Blomberg, right? Bloomberg?
We'll take a break, and we'll get back with you in just a second.
This is the hotel breakfast.
It looked different online.
Do you children like eggs? Here, they make your bones grow.
It'll be fine. It's gonna be fine. All right, guys. Look alive.
Is it fine, Daryl?
I'm starving.
When free hot breakfast can make or break your day, it matters where you stay.
Go get 'em.
Hampton by Hilton. Hilton for the stay.
Your poached egg on avocado toast.
Ew.
Your flash fried porgy over chips.
Ew.
Your fresh main lobster with microgreens.
When the only thing your 8-year-old will eat is waffles.
She's fine. She's fine.
Your waffles, milady.
It matters where you stay.
Yum.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Hampton by Hilton. Hilton for the stay.
All right, we're back. Time for the answer to the trivia question brought to you by Hampton Inn and Suites.
Question was, what year was the designated hitter rule introduced? You said 19.
Well, I thought it was 74.
It's 1973. Chuck got it right. Sean got it right.
Yeah, but do we get a bonus? We told you it was. The first hitter was Ron Bloomberg.
That wasn't my question.
Oh.
Hey, I used to play football in 1973.
Aren't we thrilled? There's a strike now to McElfresh, who will lead things off here in the bottom of the 7th.
Hard to pick dandelions playing football.
It is. But he found a way. That's what's nice about Keith. He can pick flowers with the best of them. The 0-1 pitch outside. McElfresh, Dillon, and Shiratori. Brooks back in for another half inning of work. The 1-1 pitch. Can we get a verification on that year?
First designated hitter was Ron Bloomberg of the New York Yankees on April 6, 1973.
Wow.
At Fenway Park against the Boston Red Sox.
Breaking ball in there for a strike.
Is that really a question, Keith?
Whether we trust him?
Yeah. In life, absolutely. In trivia, not so much.
Yeah, not so much. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Off the end of the bat, foul.
Well, just wait till next game.
Are you bringing the question?
I believe so, yes. Can I?
Oh, sorry.
I don't want to forget that.
Hit foul.
Oh, that's coming. Oh, that was close. Right there. There's one for you, Keith.
Go get her. Right underneath that table. Stay at 2 balls, 2 strikes. McElfresh today, 1 for 1, and run scored, an RBI. Jones at short. Long throw wide, and he will now attempt to go to second base, and another bad throw.
Man.
Error on Jones, and it would have been an error on Wolf if McElfresh could have gotten to third.
You got the Keystone Cops theme going?
No kidding. Second error now on the Ravens. That'll bring up the top of the order now in Ethan Dillon. Dillon this afternoon, 2 for 4, couple of runs scored. Has an RBI. No activity in the Raven bullpen. He'll square to bunt and really able to get out of the way of that pitch. It came riding in on his hands. Unfortunately for Dylan, baseball caught a piece of the bat, so he's down to the count, no balls and a strike. McElfresh, the big lead down at second base. Outfield straight away. He'll show bunt once again, and the pitch a called strike, and it's quickly 0-2. This is the 9th game of the tournament. The 0-2 pitch. Nice bunt. Brooks is going to have to hurry. The runner is safe at first. Tough play there for Brooks to make that turn. We talked about that time and time again. But Dylan able to get the infield base hit, and that'll bring up now Shiratori with runners at first and third and no outs.
I went to get you the baseball, and fan beat me to it. They worked their way up the ramp. I thought I was going to get it.
They weren't allowed to be up here. This is a press area.
VIP.
Yeah, what are they doing? Well, Shiratori's showing bunt as well. First base side, runner takes off from third. He will score. They make the play at first to get Shiratori, but he's able to get the run across, and it's now 11-4.
I wonder how often they practice bunting with as much as they actually bunt.
That's a good question.
They bunt a lot.
They do. And it's working. Here's Baxter Tedesco. Tedesco has walked twice today, has a base hit. This one up the middle, that's going to get through. Another run will score as Dylan rounding third. And it's now 12-4. It is all Transylvania now this afternoon as they're looking to advance to the title game.
They have definitely carried the momentum from last night until today.
And they were here pretty late, weren't they? And they were still here when you left, right? Or was it close?
No, the first bus left, then I left before the second bus did.
Okay.
And then ran into them at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they had a late night too then.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you guys are all young. You can handle those late nights and early mornings.
Yeah.
Here is Henry Mitchum. He has a couple of hits to his credit today. Ripped that one foul.
Oh.
Error on the third base coach.
E-coach.
So 2 runs across. This is now what, the 3 multi-run innings now for Transylvania as they lead at 12-4.
And don't forget, we got Taylor in 2 batters who's a home run shy of the cycle.
Pitch outside. We're going to pull for him, right? That'd be fun to see.
It would. I've never seen a cycle in person.
2 balls and 1 strike. Stretch by Brooks. Pitch way outside, and there is now a right-hander ready to throw for the Ravens. But you really, you go back to that third inning when Transylvania scored 4, and they came back, scored another one, and came back another 3. You just felt the air coming out of the balloon for Anderson.
Aiden Shoemaker.
That's hit well into center field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Back-to-back singles by Tedesco and Mitchum. Now runners at first and second, and that'll bring up Austin Taylor. Let's see if he can accomplish a cycle.
For those of you who are unaware of what that is, that means you get a single, a double, a triple, and a home run in the same game as a hitter. And he had a triple in the second, single in the fourth, and a double in the sixth.
All right, let's see if he can do it here as he steps to the plate. Runners at first and second. Well, it's not going to be, but he's going to get a base hit. Tedesco rounding third. They'll wave him home. Barreca's throw to the plate, not in time, and it's now 13-4. Great throw, though, by Barreca.
That was a heck of a throw.
Taylor may not get the cycle, but I'll tell you what a day he's having, huh?
Yes.
By the way, he still may get another at bat, so we're going to have a pitching change. We have a new pitcher on his way to the mound. We will tell you about the new pitcher for the Ravens here on Indiana SRN.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Well, new pitcher will be Aiden Shoemaker for the Anderson Ravens as they have to go back into their bullpen. They've given up 13 runs, and we're still batting here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
I think Shoemaker pitched yesterday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, sure did. Oh, but Transylvania, their bats continue to be hot. Take another look at this throw from Barreca. You know, if he throws immediately, he might have had a shot right there, but he kind of took an extra step, but still, great arm.
Even a little bit more to his right side. If it's just like another foot over, a nice little sweep tag right there.
Chris Hedinger steps to the plate. Hedinger, a couple of runs driven in. They've had 3 players drive in 2, Mitchum, Taylor, and Hedinger. Everybody in the lineup has driven in a run except for the catcher, Dreyer. Sidearm pitch and just kind of lobs it in there for a strike. $18 hits now by Transylvania. If they advance, do they have enough bats left in the next game? They might want to save a couple. They have out-hit Anderson 18-7.
Anderson's also got a couple of errors that have hurt.
Yep. That's going to get over the shortstop's head. That'll score another run. And it's now 14-4. Hedinger able to drive in a run. So now runners at first and second.
You want to go ahead with what?
Tell them there's no 10-run rule?
Yes, there is no 10-run rule in an elimination game.
We'll have a courtesy, or I should say pinch runner down at first base. I think that's, is that McAtee? Yep. So McAtee will run for Hedinger.
Camden McAtee Jr. from Fort Thomas, Kentucky.
Now here's Houston Manning.
He's had a day.
He's had a really good day. 2 for 3, couple of runs scored, an RBI. He has walked.
I think that's an Anderson fan.
Swing and a miss. Official score does not have the 19th hit there for Transylvania. The scoreboard does, but that is 19 hits now. And now a 10-run lead as Shoemaker's next pitch is low and outside.
Still only 1 out.
And that came on the Shiratori sacrifice. There's a strike. Now the fans in orange to our right have not had a good afternoon at all.
Yeah, not much to cheer about since the 3rd inning.
Nope. We'll stay at 1-2.
But they're getting some good sunshine, some vitamin D.
Yep. Won't be that long of a drive home.
Truth.
The pitch on the way, reaching out and poking that one hop to Jones. The turn by Hogan to Wolf. It was a high throw, but he came back down on the base. They get the double play, ending Transylvania 4 runs across. We head to the 8th. Transy leads it by 10.
Every year, the Econ Senior Seminar class does a project of community outreach, and we kind of have full authority over which group we want to work with for the semester. We wanted to stay local, and we looked at a couple options, and we settled on Town Branch because it's very close to Transy and it's going to affect Transy students.
I think the downtown partnerships are very nice because students should be able to see that they're part of a life, and I think when you can literally from the steps of the school see a place or be able to walk to it, it just seems different. And you're oftentimes, I've seen over a decade of doing this, students feel more empowered to work with a group.
So Town Branch Park is a nonprofit organization that's bringing that green space back to downtown Lexington, which is something very new and refreshing that I think the community could frankly use. I think this project's unique is because how cooperative Town Branch Park was, and Town Branch Park did a very good job of being invested in our project and giving us everything we needed to be successful.
I think working in a professional setting definitely prepared us for the future. We really got to take the initiative with this project, and it was very student-led.
When we were at our meetings, I said, I want to be in the back. So if anybody here, students or otherwise, has questions, I'm willing to answer, but these students are prepped. It's their project. They are in charge.
I think working for a client rather than a grade was definitely a different experience because when you have that face-to-face interaction, it's not, you're doing it for other people and not for yourself, and so it's more.
Beautiful sunny Kokomo on this Saturday, championship Saturday, as Griffin Wolf will lead things off for the Ravens, down by 10 here in the 8th inning. Moberly back in for another inning of work, and the lefty's first pitch is ripped down the line, and that'll go out of play. He jumped all over that pitch.
A little bit out in front, but he put a charge into that one.
Again, our championship game is scheduled for 4:30. We must have 45 minutes after the end of this game, no matter what. That's popped up. Tedesco in foul territory. And he'll squeeze it for out number 1, and that'll bring up Stosky. Stosky today is 1 for 3 with a run scored. One of the few players that wears that face mask, a full face mask on his helmet. And we talked about that before. We're kind of surprised a lot of players don't wear more of that. Softball players do. That pitch in there for a strike. I rarely see, and I watch quite a bit of softball at the Division I level especially, I very rarely see a player get hit.
Yeah.
The control of most of those pitchers is really very good. That's ripped into center field for a base hit.
Well, I think the difference, too, is, you know, with guys, they're coming over the top, so they're starting up in that area.
Yeah.
Whereas the girls are coming from down under.
Yeah.
And so it has to rise quite a bit to get to the level of their heads.
Tabor steps to the plate.
Just a theory.
I love the theory. You did a very good job there. Tabor a triple back in the 2nd inning. Pitches inside, 1 ball, no strikes. We have not gotten an update, and I'm pretty sure that the HCAC softball tournament continuing today, we got the results last night. They should be underway today down in Transylvania. There's a called strike. Get our crack staff to working on that. We can pass that along here this afternoon. 1-1 pitch. Caught the inside corner. Well, at this point, if you're Tabor or Bereka, you need to be swinging the bat.
Yeah.
You can take pitches all day long hoping to get the pitch you want. I understand that, but you need runs. You need a lot of base runners. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Popped him up.
A lot of base runners.
A lot of base runners. But some hitters, again, they're in a certain pattern that they like. And we've seen hitters in the entire tournament that love to swing at that first pitch.
Oh, yeah.
Others like to work the count as deep as they can. Way out in front once again. One away here in the top of the 8th inning.
Yeah, there's a ton of hitters that, they don't want to hope they get a good pitch. They see one that they like. If it's the first pitch in the count, they're going after it.
Diving is Taylor. He'll flip on to Moberly. The only play he had was at first base to get Tabor. Stosky advancing down to second. Nice play there by Taylor. What I like that time about Moberly, too, is automatically knew that ball was going to be a tough one for Taylor. Gets off the mound and gets over there on the base.
Fundamentals, again, yes. The mental part of the game.
Looks like we may have a new batter here for the Ravens. That's McAtee. I do believe, or is that 45? That's 45.
That's Cole Michelle. 5'10" freshman from Lexington Catholic High School in Lexington.
Backhanded by Taylor. Once again, Moberly steps on the base, and that'll do it for the Ravens. Here in the 8th inning, they come up empty. They leave a man on. Transylvania leads at 14-4.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Bertner Electric Incorporated provides professional commercial electrical contractor services to Indianapolis and surrounding communities. Locally owned and operated for over 30 years, our knowledge and experience make us the perfect choice for all your commercial electrical contractor needs. Contact us today.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you...
We're back here in Kokomo. See some of the fans enjoying the sunshine as they are finally hearing something besides the country music we had. We're getting the Beach Boys here, so we complained loud and long enough, and the next thing you know, we get some different music.
You say something and it changes. So nothing happens. Update the softball championship, top of 2, Transy up on Mount St. Joseph 2-0.
Okay. And they'll have a championship game coming up today as well. We move to the bottom half of the 8th inning. You see Shoemaker. Looks like he's going to finish it out here for the Anderson Ravens as they look ahead to the top of the 9th inning. Seitzinger, Brown, and Hogan all due up. If things hold out, the Ravens will see their season come to an end at 26-16, a very good year. They were the number 2 seed in this tournament. That pitch in there for a called strike. And now this Transylvania team, unless there's a miracle comeback, are preparing for the next game. They did not announce the hitter here, but I believe that is number 10.
Is it Dreher?
Fouled away. Is it Dreher? Is it still Dreher? It sure is. We always got to look because you never can tell this late in the game if they'll end up getting a different player in. It is Bryce Dreher. This is going to be lined into center field for a base hit.
Hey, you would think up 10, maybe they'd give some guys a bit of a rest.
Maybe they figure, listen, we're going well now. Let's just keep it going. Here's Colin McElfresh. He's had a good day as well. A couple of runs scored, 1 for 2, and an RBI. He also was hit by a pitch back in the 2nd inning. Walked in the 5th. reached on an error in the 7th inning. He was part of that 4-run 7th that really opened things up here for Transylvania. Off the end of the bat, foul. There's some adjustments made here, too, as a hitter again, as we know at this point you're looking at a pitcher who does not throw with a whole lot of velocity. Did they call a balk there? Because I see that Dreyer went down to second base. I think they did. There was no pause there by Shoemaker.
Oh.
So our first balk of the game, and that'll keep the count at no balls and 2 strikes as McElfresh looking to drive in a run here. The pitch on the way, lined up the middle. That's going to get through. Dreyer will head to third. McElfresh gets his second base hit, and the hitting barrage continues here for Transylvania. Top of the order now, Ethan Dillon.
If you're Manchester and you're sitting here watching this, does this concern you as well as they've been hitting the baseball?
It does. The other part that might concern me if I'm Transylvania is, again, do I, you always think that you can't do it, but can I save some of these hits for the next game? But the way they're swinging, they probably feel very confident. Home plate umpire saying something to Shoemaker.
I think he was telling me he's got to engage with him visually.
Yeah. Dillon 3 for 5, 3 runs scored. High fly ball. Barreca, Dorton. It'll be Dorton, the center fielder. That's going to be good enough to score another run as Dreyer crosses the plate. Sacrifice fly there by Dillon. He gets the RBI as well. And it's now a 15-4 ball game. We've seen a couple of sacrifice flies in this contest as Shiratori steps to the plate. I don't think he'll be bunting here. We've seen him many times in this contest laying down bunts to sacrifice runners across. They'll let him swing away. And he falls behind 0-1 in the count as Shiratori's 2 for 3, couple of runs scored, has an RBI. Dillon probably feels pretty good about that at bat because he's left 4 runners on base here today. That's fouled away.
When you've had a day at the plate like he's had where you're like, man, oh man, I can't get it done, a sac fly feels enormous.
Yeah, it does. Hit toward the second baseman, Hogan, and they'll double off the runner as McElfresh started to take off. The double play ends the half inning. We head to the top of the 9th, 15-4 Transy.
Center for Public Service is a unique honors program for exceptional students who are seeking careers in public service.
The Center for Public Service was started in 1973. A very tumultuous time in the history of our country. But I think both when it started and right now, there's an incredible need for people who are motivated to be servant leaders and to unite us, not to divide us. And I think that's at its heart really what the Center for Public Service does.
I give great credit to the directors of the Center for Public Service. It's had very good leadership, and it's why it's lasted 50 years, in my view.
There's a deep core value and commitment to using the skills, the abilities that you have to make a difference in the world for everyone. And I think the faith is very central at Anderson University. Jesus was the perfect example of servant leadership. And I think that the experience students have here undergirds everything they do.
I think it's extraordinarily consistent with the Christian faith. A motivating verse for me is Philippians 2:3-4. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but in humility consider others better than yourself. Each of you should look after not only your own interests, but also the interests of others. Public service is putting others ahead of yourself. Public service is about loving people, meeting people where they're at, having empathy.
Well, every starter got a base hit or more for Transylvania in their 21-hit attack. As we move to the ninth inning, Ben Seitzinger will lead things off. Moberly looking to finish it off. Here's a high fly ball. Dillon going back on it. He's not going to get to this one. It takes a bounce to the wall. Seitzinger into second base with the leadoff double.
He wasn't going to wait around for anything. Got a pitch to hit and drove it out in the right center field gap.
Here's Ben Brown. Brown today 0 for 3.
Oh, pinch hitter.
So this will be number 10.
Nate Kelly. He's a senior from Mishawaka. Went to Penn High School. Hello.
So Kelly hitting in the number 8 hole. Ben Brown done for the day. If they do rally, he's 0 for 3.
Well, I think the thing here is Brown's a sophomore and Kelly's a senior.
Give him one last chance. Pitch inside, count even at 1 ball, 1 strike. Mentioned the championship game is scheduled for 4:30. That'll depend on when we are done. It's a guaranteed 4:30 or later if we're not done. Got to give them 45 minutes to get ready for the championship game. 2 balls in, 1 strike now to Kelly. Hogan is on deck. Seitzinger down at second base after that leadoff double. And the pitch on the way, big cut and a miss. You hanging in there okay? Your late night didn't burn you up too bad?
No, I was looking at rosters, seeing how many seniors Anderson had, and if we might get any more pinch hitters.
You know, your wife finds out you were partying last night. She's going to demand more parties.
I'm not, no, was not partying.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Struck him out. Well, that depends on your interpretation of what the party was all about, right? Here's Hogan. I'm sure nobody on our staff will let your wife know that you got in at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I'll tell her myself.
Yeah.
As I
and
sit
she'll
down,
say, "What are you thinking?"
As I lay down for a nap. She has no reason to give me grief because I'll go to bed on the weekends, not quite that late for sure, but she'll stay up later than that reading.
Sounds like my wife.
Yeah.
She's a late nighter and I'm a early riser.
She's like, I'm so tired. I'm like, what time did you go to bed? 2:30. Why? I was reading. I'm like, oh, geez. Okay.
Hogan steps back in, fouls this one off the end of the bat.
I was at least having interpersonal conversations with other people.
Right. What was her book about? Do you remember?
She reads fiction, so I'm out.
There you go. Hogan today 1 for 3. Moberly has done a nice job in relief. Outside, 2-1.
Although funny is, I brought a book with me that I just got. It's on Ken Caminiti.
Oh, really?
And how his testimony about the whole steroid thing really broke the whole scandal wide open.
Popped up foul. That'll go out of play.
I'm anxious to read it.
I bet he made a lot of friends with that book, huh?
Yeah.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
You know, him, Jose Canseco, Barry Bonds.
Chuck Levine. I know Chuck's taking something. He was wrestling there for a while. The 2-2 pitch. Ooh. Still just 1 away here in the top of the 9th inning.
Yeah, I haven't asked Chuck what he thought of John Cena winning the championship at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I never heard a word about that. Popped up right side. That 2 will get out of play. Fans that are ready for the championship game from Manchester starting to make their way into the ballpark.
Mark McGuire was involved in those steroids. Rafael Palmeiro, a bunch of guys. Sammy Sosa testified in front of a grand jury.
It'll be lined over the shortstop's head as Shiratori can't come up with it. We'll have runners at first and third, one away, and we'll go to the top of the order. It'll be Charlie Jones.
The only problem with those last three guys is they never admitted it at the time.
Right.
Right. Once Caminiti got done playing, he was like, yes, I did it, when the rumors started to come out. And McGuire and Palmeiro and Sosa, all of them were like, no. And just now, they're like, okay, yeah, we did it.
And if they would have just admitted it at the time, everything would have been okay, pretty much, right? Not okay, but they would have forgiven him more.
I am interested to see if and when, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGuire, Palmeiro, Roger Clemens ever get into the Hall of Fame.
Right.
And now there's the whole Pete Rose issue since he has passed. What that's going to be like.
All right, here's Charlie Jones. Right now, Moberly looking for the ground ball for a double play. Get out of this one and think about that championship matchup as that pitch is low, ball one. Boy, but while that was all going on, that was a lot of fun watching all those home runs, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Pitch up high, 2-0.
I was in person for number 58 from Sammy Sosa.
One of the, if you would have got the ball.
Well, it would have been tough since I was, upper deck right field, first base line.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. Nearly got him, 3-0.
But loudest place I have ever been outdoors was when that happened.
Well, in a lot of ways, not saying saved baseball, but baseball was kind of dragging a little bit at the time, and everybody was into it.
After the strike in '94, a lot of people were out, and that brought them back. Well, I think the Cal Ripken Jr. consecutive games started to bring them back, and then the home run race kind of
walked to Jones. It did. Bases loaded. That'll bring up Trey Dorton. Transy does not want to go to their bullpen here. They're trying to get Dorton, or should say get Moberly to get Dorton here into a ground ball, get out of this ball game. Now a visit to the mound. Here, this is very, very animated. Look at this. The head coach out there, I think he's saying, you got all these guys around you. Just throw to the bat and let's get out of here. How about that, huh?
Yeah. I think
that's what we used to call that. You just got a what for. That's right. Now the cow ate the cabbage.
I've not heard that one before.
No?
No.
Well, you hang around a little longer, you'll get it. Here's Dorton.
Remember, this morning I was the youngin'.
That's true. Ground ball, left side, off the glove of Tedesco. A run will score, and it's now 15-5. Here's Wolf. Boy, am I smelling a 10-run rally here.
Oh, Lord.
Top of the 9th inning. The pitch. Fly ball into center field. So maybe not. This will be the second out. Dylan deep. Runners will tag, all advancing, and a head-first slide into second base by Dorton. But now 2 away. And runners will be at second and third.
Did you ever watch the old-time home run derby on ESPN?
Yep.
Anytime anybody says two away, I think of the two away.
Two away.
The umpire. Two away.
Here is Stosky. So 1 out away here for Transylvania, and they will advance. That pitch low and inside. 15-6 your score. I remember they used to do in the NBA the 1-and-1 contests.
Mm-hmm.
The home run derbies in baseball, the black and white.
Remember Saturday morning NHL, Peter Puck. Do you remember Peter Puck?
I never saw that.
Yeah.
My Saturday mornings were usually, well, that was Sunday morning, was Notre Dame highlights with Lindsey Nelson.
Oh, Lindsey Nelson. And those crazy plaid jackets he would wear.
That's right. 1 ball and 1 strike. That one gets away from Dreher. No advancement from third by Jones. So down to the final strike. We may start right at 4:30. We're very close now.
Barry.
We have 90 seconds, so you better hurry, Stosky. Moberly, after that fanny chewing a little bit ago by his head coach, ready to go to work again. Here's the 1-2 pitch, hit foul. We'll stay at 1-2. We have seen a combined 32 hits. 1-2 pitch. Grounded to the third baseman. Tedesco, the throw, and a strong throw ends it. Game ending at 3:44. A game that took 2 hours and 43 minutes is now in the books. And Transylvania advancing to the championship game at 4:30. And no doubt a dominating performance. The bats came alive, 21 hits to go along with those 15 runs. And now the question is, will they have enough offense? Will they continue this momentum into that championship game coming up at 4:30 against the number 1 seed?
Well, you know, you would think that 45 minutes wouldn't take all the juice out of their bats, but you never know. You know, they carried their momentum from last night into today, and it worked out well for them. I'll be honest, I was surprised. I thought Anderson, with the way they'd hit so far in the tournament, would hang with them. But, man, Transy just was relentless and kept pushing the envelope, and they're moving on.
All right, don't go away. We'll have the championship game at about 45 minutes here on Indiana SRN.